This is Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Tunkhannock Memorial Stadium in Wyoming County. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference clash between two teams looking for win number 2. It's Pittston area and Tunkhannock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide, and welcome to week number 3 of high school football. Joining me in the booth tonight, former Tiger coach Jan Cechak. Paul Grippy is on the sidelines. He will join us shortly. And Coach, as we look at these two teams on paper, we have a pretty evenly matched game. It should be a great contest.
It's going to be a great contest. And Tunkhannock and Pittston has turned into quite a rivalry over the last 5 years. And tonight's game, we don't expect anything less than that.
Let's talk about Pittston area first. A big loss last week to Berwick. But when things are going right for the Patriots, that means our Toyota Spotlight player of the game, Andrew Krawczyk, is right in the mix.
Andrew Krawczyk comes from great bloodline. His older brother, Kevin, did a tremendous job. He was first team Wyoming Valley Conference for 2 years. And Andrew's got 2 touchdowns this year. He's a threat on both sides of the ball.
Tunkhannock, meantime, picked up their first win last week at Tunkhannock. When their things are going right for the Tigers, that means our other Toyota Spotlight player of the game, Gavin D'Amato, he's right in the mix as well.
He is. He had 154 yards last week against Tunkhannock, rushed for 2 touchdowns, and he really is just a great runner. He's got a great attitude. He's also a state qualifying wrestler.
Let's talk about the weather. Another beautiful night for high school football. Let's check in on the weather now with meteorologist Allie Dubicki from the Fox 56 News, first at 10.
Yes, hey there, Bob. Looking at a little bit of cloud cover this evening. Now, as we head through the overnight period, we could see a passing shower, but a lot of us looking mainly dry for the Pittston area versus Tunkhannock game tonight. Friday night rivals looking pretty good. Here's your forecast for kickoff. Once again, a little bit of sunshine sneaking through. Temperatures mid to upper 60s by the end of the game. We'll hold on to the clouds. A few showers will be possible, but keep in mind temperatures going to be a lot cooler here, looking at 62 for your end of game forecast. We'll have another look coming up, but we'll send it first to you at the field.
Thank you, Allie. We'll sit back, relax, and enjoy what should be a great high school football game. It's Pittston area and Tunkhannock next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
We are back at Tunkhannock Memorial Stadium. Let's go down to Paul Grippy on the sidelines with a quick report on the Tigers. Paul?
Bob, we're going to see if this Tiger program can take the next step. Coach Mike Maribel took over the program last year. He had 3 wins. Doesn't sound great, but the year before, only 1 win. Now, so far this season, Tigers have 1 win under their belt. Tonight, we'll try to make it consecutive wins. And I remember we were here a year ago when the Tunkhannock football program actually had consecutive wins in the 2018 season. Pittston will give them a good battle tonight, Bob.
That they should. Pittston won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Tunkhannock will get the ball. Anthony Thomas will kick it off for our Keystone College kickoff. Back to receive Riley Jones and Gavin D'Amato. We are ready to go on a beautiful night for high school football in Tunkhannock. This will be Jones from his 15.
87.
Hail back to the 22-yard lines, and that's where we'll see quarterback Jack Chilson, the 6'5", 175-pound juniors, one of the best in the game in the Wyoming Valley. 204 yards on the year, 2 touchdowns. A year ago, Coach, he threw 11 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and he's a student of the game as well. He watches a lot of film.
He really does, and when I had him as a freshman, he really did a lot of studying. He really is committed to this sport and this craft of quarterback.
It will run a spread offense that averages 25 points per game. You see 4 wideouts there. And we already have a flag. Looks like offsides on Pittston area.
Encroachment. Number 1 white, 5 yards. First and 5.
Of course, Pittston area last week torched by Berwick. A lot of teams have been torched by Berwick, but so they're looking a little antsy on the defensive side. They gave up 27 points per game early on in the season.
Last week, Berwick put the hammer to Pittston last week.
Little fake, and they get it out to Frisco.
And Jake Frisco goes up, and they're going to say he's down at the 40-yard line. So a gain of about 13. Here's the offense now. Brought to you by Quad A Driving Academy. There you see D'Amato and Chilson in the backfield. The wide receivers, they're going to roll 3 out along with Jamel Zacharias at the tight end. And up front, pretty big, bunch of seniors up there. Get to that in a second. They give it to D'Amato for about a yard loss.
On that play, they ran their counter tray.
Let's take a look at the offensive line quick. 275 pounds, Paraski at number 73. Maribel's a good sophomore on the right-hand side. Coming across is Frisco again. Nice yards from him. Give him about 8.
Jack Chilson had a lot of time to throw that ball. You'll see this on this play. Frisco's just doing a crossing pattern. Does a nice job. Linebacker didn't pick him up.
Tigers running a no offensive huddle. Pressure, and Chilson's hit as he lets the ball go from the outside.
That was number 1 that brought the pressure. Sophomore Alex Hoban at the defensive end spot. One of the things that the Tigers have been trying not to do is get Jack Chilson hit with the quick game.
And we'll see how much pressure do you expect the Patriots to put on him. Are they going to try to blitz him as much as they can?
If they do, they're going to have to really shut down Jake Frisco, who's his number 1 target.
That was the 3rd down play, and here's the first punt away on the evening. It's going to go sit and die right about the 24, and that's where we'll see the Pittston area offense for the first time. And it's another number 7. This time it's Mike DeCito. He's a 5'11", 165-pound senior. He's thrown for 243 yards this year, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A year ago, DeCito threw for over 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns.
And what Coach Barberi really likes about him is his competitive spirit that he has. The kid likes to get after it. He wants to win, and he'll do anything he can to help the Patriots win.
This is a team, Pittston area, averaging 15 points per game. They like to run the ball. With this guy, Dylan Lachkochko, a senior, 25 carries on the year. And he brings it up for a couple.
He was stopped by Ty Conan of the Tigers. And again, Dylan Lachkochko, we felt he was going to be the key. And right there, the offensive line did a nice job opening up a hole for him to run through.
Pittston area coming in 184 yards per game, just 55 on the ground. I know that's something Coach Barberi wants to do, is establish a running game.
Because he feels, again, and he wants to try to establish that run game to get the pass game opened up for him.
It's like Devin Atkins on the end around, short of a first down.
Right now, the Tigers are starting to attack that inside where Alex Sebo, senior linebacker, is not playing tonight due to an injury.
Okay, let's check out the offense quickly. Brought to you by Quad A Driving Academy. Lachkochko and George in the backfield. The wide receivers, some pretty good ones themselves. Higgins and Anastasi, the former quarterbacks, moved to tight end. And there you see up front, they did lose Steven Yanchis. He's 286-pound junior. He got hurt this week in practice. He's replaced by John Galonis on the right side. First pass is caught
by Krosick
for a first down, and Krawczyk brings it up to about the 39.
Again, on this play, you'll just see Nacito just a real quick, and then Andrew does a nice job with this, coming in, breaking tackles a yard after the catch, which are key to get the Patriots their first down.
Back to Krawczyk. He's hit in the backfield and then brought down by the linebacker, Ty Conan.
And Ty Conan is now filling in at that inside spot. I should say not filling in. He's been playing there. They have Michael Sickler that's filling in for the injured Alex Sebo. On that last play, the Tigers' defensive right side, the front line defensive line really penetrated hard.
Tunkhannock's defense giving up 31 points per game. They lost their first game of the year, of course, to Dallas, 49-13.
And Dallas has been on a roll this year, Bob, as you well know.
Nicido over the middle. Nice catch by Higgins. Going to be just short of a first down. Great catch in there. Let's take a look at the defense now for the Tigers. A 4-4 this year. There you see the ends, Daly and Zacharias. The 4 linebackers, they have some experience, but there's 3 sophomores in there, Coach.
Yep, they're building for the future with these kids, and they're good ball players.
And in the secondary, Jones and Frisco, pretty good experience with Nathan Lord, the other quarterback. So 3rd and about 2 coming up for a first down. Little option. Somehow, Lakachko grabs it, and he pulls it for 3 yards, and will move the chains.
Tunkhannock's really getting a lot of penetration. They're coming up really quick. They're going to just have to play a little bit more discipline, make sure they play their assignments. And that was brought down by number 31 of the Tigers.
Sickler and Conan on the stop. Patriots on the move after starting this drive on the 24. They're inside Tiger territory. We're in the first quarter. Great job by Tunkhannock, stuffing that play for a 2-yard loss.
I talked about the penetration. The Tigers on that last play, they penetrated their gaps and they took on the man blocks and they just shut it down.
The sophomores playing pretty well at linebacker in their Perbola, Conan, and Sickler.
And those guys, they are athletes. Matt Perbola last year came in 3rd at the States at Javelin as a freshman.
Clock rolling here, right at midfield. Lakachko cuts it back in. Take it down at the 40.
If we see this on replay, I want the fans to watch Andrew Krozik on this play, how he's stalk blocking, he's out of the frame. He just drove his man out, which created that lane for the running back to run up in there.
Like stopped by Zacharias, the junior, who came in with 9 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for a loss. Big 3rd and short, little fullback trap, and good job by Freddie George powering his way for about 7 and a first down.
Yeah, Bob, you called it. It was just that nice inside trap. It's a quick hitter. You always want to try to get those on like 2nd or 3rd and shorts because you never know. With the penetration the Tigers have been getting, they're over-penetrating. That's going to open it up.
Tripped up by Riley Jones from the secondary. So a nice drive being put together by the Patriots. The first possession of the game. Nicido back, pressured. Finds Lakachko down the sidelines, and he pulls it in for a first down at the 14.
On this play, you'll see it's just a boom. He does a nice 5-step drop, sets his feet, throws, and again, the linebackers aren't dropping into their hook to curl zones, and that's why that was available.
$18-yard gain, and we're inside the Allied Services red zone for Pittston area. There you see Nick Barberi, the coach, 3rd season, 11-13 overall. And again, he's trying to establish kind of what Tunkhannock's trying to establish, just get some kids into the program, get them in the weight room, and keep retention, keep the kids in the game.
And that's been the hardest battle for all coaches, is trying to get players to come out. The time commitment that is required for these kids, as we have the umpire coming over.
Ref's coming over, maybe a clock issue.
5:04.
They want to put 5:04 on the clock, so we're going to wait for that. It's Harry Caskey, our referee tonight, and his crew from the Wyoming Valley Conference. I think he's talking to Bill Perbola. And there you see the Tunkhannock coach, Mike Maribel, his 2nd season. He's happy with the way things are going here. So here we go. Kochko powers through, but he's ripped down, and great tackle on the inside again by number 42, Ryan Simmons, the junior.
On that play, they were trying to do a split ISO where the fullback goes one way, tailback goes the other. They got stuffed.
So far, like what I see from Pittston area, running the ball.
The run and passing. And again, this is what Coach wanted to do. Coach Barberi wanted to establish that run, get them to start coming and biting, so it opens up that pass.
Out to Krawczyk. Breaks a tackle. And he's in for a Pittston area touchdown of 14 yards. His third touchdown of the year, and it gives Pittston area the early lead.
Quick look at this. Inside curl. He starts getting pressure. He spins to the outside, which is a really smart heads-up play for a receiver because you never want to go inside where all the pressure's coming.
What a beautiful drive for Pittston area. Matt Stoy, the junior, on for the PAT. Low snap. It's handled, and it is good. So the Patriots drive down the field 76 yards, and they take the early 7-0 lead.
Imagine getting a nurse's aid scholarship and tuition assistance while getting paid as a CNA. Allied Services has excellent career opportunities for RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. Visit allied-services.org/careers today.
We are back in Tunkhannock. The Patriots with an impressive drive, 12 plays, 76 yards, coach, just over 6 minutes off the clock. And they did it through the air and on the ground. Jones fumbles it at the 19. Picks it up and has room. What a nice return up to the 45 from Riley Jones, giving the Tigers good field position to get back in this one.
Bob, that was a very good drive. More importantly, they took 6 minutes off the clock. And I know Coach Barberi said he wanted to try to do ball control. On this kickoff return, we talk about casting a net and then reeling it in. And that time the Patriots didn't do that, which allowed that hole for Riley Jones to get a great return to set up for the Tunkhannock offense.
What we didn't talk about last time, it kind of snuck up on us, was that fourth down. I mean, Pittston area did a nice job on the defensive side, stopping Tunkhannock. So now the Tigers back out to go do that passing game up to Frisco, just past midfield.
The quick passing game of Tunkhannock is actually to Jack Chilson's benefit because he shouldn't be getting a lot of hits.
There's Coach Maribel. Frisco came in with 6 catches on the year. Another quick hitter to the, I believe that's the big tight end. Nope, that's Nate Lord.
13. That was Matt Perbola.
The other wide receiver. So that moves the chains. D'Amato to the right side and into the open. Chased, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. 39-yard gain for the senior.
On this play, it's just a base dive play. He hits it off left tackle, bounces it to the right side. Coach Maribel is trying to do the exact opposite of what Coach Barberi. He's going to open up the pass game to get that run game going.
And he's a quick kid. He wrestles and he's very fast. And he's a track star, right?
He is. He's a leadoff guy in the 4x1 and also the 100.
Well, there you can see why. So we're inside the Allied Services red zone for Tunkhannock. They give it to their big tight end who lined up as a fullback, Jamal Zacharias, 290 pounds.
Jamal's a very big individual. And they went to what they call their elephant scent with him in the backfield like that.
And Pittston actually stuffed that first one up. Let's see if they go back to him. QB sneak the push from behind and no signal yet. And it's a Tunkhannock area touchdown. 5 plays, 55 yards, and with the PAT, Tunkhannock can tie it up.
And less than 2 minutes taken off. That's a great answer the Tigers had for the Patriots score.
A whiteout here in Tunkhannock. There's Jackson Montross, one of the better kickers in the Wyoming Valley Conference. Has a great leg and shown there, and it's good. So with 2:55 left in the first quarter, Coach, both teams' offenses get it going, and we're tied at 7.
Big plays, we have to limit those.
This one's set up by D'Amato's run. First off, quick hitter.
They go motion with Perbola, and then they just quick hit with the dive, and Gavin does great field of vision, cuts it back to the right side.
Just couldn't get in. And then they go with the 6'5" quarterback. Why not? Just put the ball over, you can put it in. So that's his first touchdown, Chilson, on the ground this year. He had 2 through the air. A nice quick hitting passing game. So Pittston area wants to come back and get their offense back out to show they can drive down the field. Pretty much what we expected.
Tonight, yep.
Yep.
We really did, Bob. This is going to be going back and forth all evening.
So a Keystone College kickoff by Jackson Montross. And he becomes a threat tonight with his leg. They're in field goal position. Coach Maribel won't hesitate to have him kick it pretty far.
Well, again, every coach would love to have a kid that can kick it into the end zone so you don't have to worry about it. And Jackson Montross of Tunkhannock has that type of leg strength.
Krawczyk and Higgins. Say Atkins and Patterson back to receive, and it looks like Patterson from his 5. That's Krawczyk. Krawczyk brings it up past the 25.
Bartron Supply in Tunkhannock has been family-owned and operated company for over 70 years. We are a one-stop for all your sales, service, parts, and rentals of John Deere, Bobcat, Husqvarna, and Honda. Bartron Supply also has toys for the little ones, plus hats and clothing for everyone. Stop by and visit us online at bartronsupply.com. Visit our new Bobcat location in Binghamton for all your Bobcat sales, rentals, parts, and services. And congratulations on your senior years, Jake and Riley.
Great run out there by Devin Atkins, the junior, who broke free for a big gain up to the 46-yard line, gain of 20.
On this play, you'll just see a little bit of over-penetration and lack of wrapping up on Tunkhannock's part. But then Ty Conan does a nice job coming back, or I'm sorry, Nate Lord had it from his cornerback to make that tackle.
So Nacito, who did not have an incompletion on the first drive, doesn't have one tonight, goes back into the shotgun. Great hit on Lakachko on the inside.
By Michael Sickler, sophomore Michael Sickler.
So second down on the way. Motion over the middle, Krawczyk, oh, wide open. Almost broke a tackle, but gets about 10 on the play, another first down inside Tiger territory, and he was wide open.
He was, and again, on the quick slant, that's the hardest pass play to defend in football. And again, Nacito does a nice job of getting his feet set, follows through, and again, you have a great target out there with Andrew Krawczyk.
Frisco have to come up on that? You think they got to tighten the cornerbacks up tonight?
I think, and they also caught Tunkhannock a little bit not getting set. They were still flip-flopping their defensive guys trying to set their front.
So Pittston area going at a nice pace as well. Krawczyk picking up a block. Breaking a tackle down the sidelines, Andrew Krawczyk. Pittston Pittston area, touchdown number 2 for number 6. 43 yards, almost untouched, broke a couple tackles.
The Tigers on that side brought outside pressure from the top of the screen. Krosick just does a simple curl and cuts back to where there was a vacancy in that area. And he just does a great job with the yards after the catch for that touchdown.
Actually slowed down as he went in, trying to be chased down from Alex Daly.
That was good hustle from Alex Daly, who's a defensive end, who's a very big individual for the Tigers.
Another low snap, and it is through from Soy, and Pittston area retakes the lead, 14-7, and back and forth we go.
21 points, and we still are in the first quarter.
We are 1:10 left in this first, and we talked about the running game. Pittston area has established that, and they get Andrew Krawczyk involved, but that's exactly how they beat Nanticoke in their first week.
And they very handily, just as the Tigers did with their passing game against Nanticoke, opened it up, and that allowed Gavin D'Amato to run the ball. So again, we're seeing mirrored offenses here from both teams.
How about one incompletion between the two quarterbacks tonight? Very impressive play from both number 7s.
Bob, we talked last week, and we talked to Coach Koharski about this, how the quarterbacks this year really seem to be shining everywhere for every team. They've been really the driving force, and we know that. But this year, apparently, the quarterbacks really must have done a lot of off-season studying and understanding, becoming better students of the game.
Aceto is 6 for 6 on the night. Jones into the open. Ball on the grass. It looks like a white jersey might be on top of it. Oh, set up for a great return from Riley Jones, and Pittston area recovers it.
This is a tremendous hole. Again, we talked about that, the opening, cast that net, and then you reel it in, but that time they didn't. And number 4 on that for Pittston, Brendan Higgins did a great job on the strip coming in. He grabbed, and you can see him punch it out.
Looks like P.J. Pisano might have recovered that ball, number 5. So the Patriots have it inside Tiger territory. First turnover of the evening, and it's at the 48. George through. Zacharias rides him for about 8. Here's another angle on this fumble on their kick return. So it's a great return, but then look out.
Watch Brendan Higgins come in here. Right arm, left arm, they teach that. Again, that's what they call the punch technique or a tomahawk.
Well, whatever you call it, it worked.
It did. You spend time practicing, and it's nice when things work for you.
Kochko, little hole, shoots through, will move the chains. Maybe it's going to be closer than I thought. The mark has it right at, it's going to be just short, I believe.
And first down, they went with the little fullback trap right up there. Quick hitter that got them close to 9, and then that time was that split blast, or what I call a scissor play.
Well, we told you this was going to be a good one.
We did.
21 points scored in the first quarter. More, I'm sure, on the way. After 1, it's Pittston area 14, Tunkhannock 7. It's the Allied Services Friday Night Rivals game of the week.
Before we start the second quarter, we'll take a minute to recognize some scholared athletes thanks to the Figured Law Firm. One representing each of our schools tonight, and first from Pittston area, it's Nicole Zambetti. She is a senior. She is on the cross-country team. She's also on the track and basketball team, a medalist in both cross-country and track, a member of the Student Council where she is vice president. She does many volunteering experiences, and she actually organized a teachers versus teachers basketball game to benefit Shriners Hospital. Her class rank #1. As for Tunkhannock, Elizabeth DeMarco, she's the secretary of her class. She plays soccer, basketball, and track. She's a DARE mentor, a church volunteer. Her class rank is #4, and she contributes in many ways in the community. So thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, the Figured Law Firm, and thank you for our scholar athletes, and thank you, Bob-Ide.
Thank you, Paul, for that rundown on two very deserving scholar athletes tonight. Brought to you by the Figure Law Firm. So Nacito is 7 for 7, 112 yards in the first quarter. As they go, we pick up quarter #2. He shoots through for the first down. So an opportunity now for Pittston area to go up a couple scores here. Maybe distance themselves with Tunkhannock.
That would give the Patriots a little bit of breathing room, but the Tigers don't count them out.
No, it's a long way from over.
Too much time to go in this game.
It's one turnover right now. That was the fumble on the kickoff. Bob-Ide, Jan Sechak. We're in the booth tonight, enjoying a beautiful night for high school football in Tunkhannock. A 1-1 teams at it. Both teams lost to perennial 4A powers.
Dallas
Pittston to Berwick,
yeah.
and Dallas to beat Tunkhannock in week #1 here. Nacito back. Still is completing it. He's 8 for 8. Most of those are to this guy, Krochzik. He's going to be close to a first down.
Andrew Krochzik did a nice job on the curl, just settling down into the dead zone. The dead zone is what we call in between the linebackers and the defensive backs.
These two have a long history together. They grew up playing with the Duryea Lions since they were 5 years old. And I asked Nacito, I said, how do you know? I go, do you have telepathy? And he goes, we just know. We've been playing together for so long. We just know where each other's going to be, and it's coming through. Koch go through. Another first down.
Again, Pittston's not doing anything fancy or anything different. They're just doing what they do well, which is either the trap or they're running that blast or the scissor play.
Is there something to be said when you know someone so well? Can it translate onto the football field?
Well, if you look at these two players from Pittston, they just know they've been playing together for so long that it's innate ability that they both have. And on the Tunkhannock side, a lot of these kids have played for the junior Tigers for years.
Nacito back. His first incompletion, trying to get Lakotko shooting down the sideline, falls incomplete. Nacito against Nanticoke. That was week #1 where they got the win. He was 8 of 14 for 90 yards and has 2 touchdowns. Of course, Nacito, a couple years starter. Last year, over 1,100 yards, 8 interceptions. It's his tight end, Anastasi, who came in as a quarterback, but they like the way he's playing at tight end.
Again, when you have your best athletes, you have to get them on the field, and they moved him from that quarterback spot to wide receiver. Again, just a quick hit inside. The linebackers went to go to their hook zones, and he just settled down right in between, and that's where the receptions keep coming.
So a big third down for both teams. Want to keep this drive going if you're Pittston. Out to Atkins. Makes a move. Has a first down and is ridden out of bounds at the 12.
Brought down by Jake Frisco on that play. That was a nice move. They keep motioning him out, and it was his time. Good ball control he had in his outside arm.
9-yard play. And we had a flag down. So that one's going to be negated. I missed that.
I didn't know if it was a flag or not. I saw something come out, but obviously it was yellow.
Yep, the flag moves them back to the original line of scrimmage. So that 9-yard gain will have to be replayed. So 3rd down and 10 forthcoming. Missed the Harry Caskey call. very disappointed.
And usually with his showmanship, it's hard to miss.
I know. Here is Nacito again. Flings it to Crotchet, catches it out of bounds. Good defense by number 2, Frisco. It'll be 4th down now.
On this play, it's a nice roll left. And again, this is tough for a right-handed quarterback. And he's looking. It was good coverage, and the ball bounced up. Good break up there by Jake Frisco.
Well, the kicker's Matt Soy. And the way we've seen the PATs, think you're going to go for it. You're not going to try a field goal here. And actually, Pittston area will call a timeout on 4th down and bring the offense over and talk it over.
Well, the one thing,
Tunkhannock's defense doing a nice job holding them on the last couple of plays.
State Farm offers solutions to help you live life confidently. Get your fast, free quote. Call Melissa at 570-675-6960 or visit myshavertownagent.com for 24/7 service. State Farm is here to help you, to help life go right.
14-7 your score. Pittston area after a fumble on the kickoff from Tunkhannock had a drives going, but it's 4th down and 10. Here are some Grotto Pizza keys to the game. Kane D'Amato, contain him. We haven't seen that. Limit the passing game. Finish drives. That's key for this.
Well, both teams, but you're absolutely right. Right now, I know Coach Barberi, that penalty put them back. And Bob, you had mentioned earlier that the snaps on the 2 touchdowns were, questionable.
Here's the 4th down play. He's got plenty of time to the end zone. Just out of the reach of Anastasi. Tunkhannock holds, and they'll take over on downs. So he was 7 for 7 coming into the drive, was Nacito, and he threw 3 incompletions on that drive and stopped. We're stopped right there at the 21 where the Tigers will take over.
Bob, you had mentioned about that innate ability when these guys have played together for so long. And Nacito on that drive, he was throwing the ball to different receivers.
So here's Tunkhannock, who hasn't beaten Pittston area since 2015, 21-14 that night, trying to break that streak. Pittston won last year's game. Chilson behind Frisco. Last year's score was 20-7. Nice tackle on the bottom by Brian Herron, the senior, who came in with 13 tackles. And now Coach Maribel trying to figure out what's going to work against this Pittston area defense. And a quick snap, quick hitter goes out to Lord, and he's going to be close to a 1st down, depending on the mark.
Now 1st down, Bob. That was actually Matt Probola on that reception.
Matt Probola,
yeah. No, the 3s and the 5s on those uniforms are really close, the way that they cut them.
Again in the slot. Almost the same play. This is Frisco. He makes the catch for 10 more. Yeah, they're going to give him a 1st down. 10 more. So what are they doing?
They're just going to what, if you notice how Pittston's playing a cover 2 look, the inside slot men are uncovered, so they got the quick hitter.
Riley Jones fighting for more yardage. Past the 50.
Pittston, as I was saying, was playing a cover 2 shell look, which means they have 2 corners and then 2 safeties. So the slot guys, they're 10 yards off of them.
D'Amato loses the ball, and Chilson's there to recover it. I didn't see who got a hand on it. If we get a replay, might have been Bentham.
That's who I believe it was, Coach. On this, they go with the zone. No, that was actually
number 1, I think, Hoban.
Yep.
So the quick snap, pressure put on. Chilson throws it incomplete. Now it's 4th down. Maybe a little bit too fast for Tunkhannock.
Well, they're signaling, Coach Appleby on Tunkhannock's sideline was signaling punt, but not sure when you're down by a touchdown and you want to gain that momentum, they might go with the fake.
Zacharias is the punter. Oh, takes a Patriot bounce past the 30 to the 31.
Parents, save money on your car insurance. Quad A Driving Academy is a certified PennDOT third-party tester. We have helped over 10,000 new drivers become safe and confident licensed drivers. Save money by checking us out at quadadrive.com.
So after we've had 21 points scored in the first, no touchdowns yet here in the second, and actually the defenses have stepped up on both sides.
They've settled in. They're starting to play their assignments.
George up for about 7. Kind of had a stutter step in there.
Franny George is 5'10", 190 pounds in here, and he's a solid kid. Keeps the legs churning, and nice job by the Tigers bringing him down for a gain of 7.
Looked like he was hit really hard by Riley Jones. He knocked him back for a second.
Riley Jones, it will give you everything he has and more, but he's kind of a little bit light. He's not one of those bigger guys. He's a speed guy.
Fake. Anastasi open over the middle. The tight end inside Tiger territory takes it down to the 46. 16-yard gain.
So we come back, they go with a bootleg action where you're trying to get a misdirection, and Anastasi he drug across the center of the field wide open. Linebacker spit.
Pittston area doing something to get that safety to move from that spot, because that's a couple times we've seen that middle open.
Well, with that, they're giving deep, so with the cover 3, he's got to bail out because he doesn't want to get beat deep.
This one's stuffed at the line of scrimmage for Lakachko. D'Amato in on a tackle.
Right there, coming up, and he just does a great job putting his head down, bullying that forward. Again, the Tunkhannock's defensive line is doing a really nice job. They're pretty stout up front.
The Patriots doing just enough showing the run.
And to be able to open up for Nacito to get out there and get either the bootleg or the rolling action, which allows time for the receivers to get open.
Threads the knee to the Krawczyk, somehow makes the catch. He does for another first down.
That was a tremendous catch. Krawczyk had to go up over his helmet, and he reeled that one in with a defender on his back. There's that open-handed fake. Nacito rolls to his right, throws it back. Boom.
That is knowing where number 6 is at all times, right?
Absolutely.
And trusting him.
That's you can't coach the trust factor that those two have together.
Trying to get that quick hitter, and again, I think D'Amato snuffed that one out. Yard loss for George.
On that play, they decided Gavin D'Amato does play inside linebacker at times. That was one of the times, and they sent him on the blitz, and Gavin did a great job stuffing that, actually for a loss.
So Nacito gets the play from the sidelines. There you see the time on the clock here in the second quarter. The fake. Gonna go long. Touchdown Pittston area. Brennan Higgins for 35 yards.
On this play, they do a tremendous job with the play fake. They set up the blast look, fake, and then they just sent him long, and he beats Nate Lord to the inside, the middle of the field.
Another impressive drive for Pittston area. 6 plays on that. What a pitch and catch. It looked really easy.
They are. And right now,
there's that snap again we talked about.
Yep.
Ball still alive, and the PAT goes for no good, but on a big pitch and catch, Pittston area extends their lead over Tunkhannock.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
It's a whiteout here in Tunkhannock as the KC Dental Smile Cam gets into the Tunkhannock area crowd. Well, at least they're having fun and a lot of smiles, even though their team is down by 13.
The football players really respond to the student section, and that student section is packed tonight, and it's really neat to see the whiteout effect here in Tunkhannock.
That's the KC Dental Smile Cam.
Now, Bob, if I was Coach Barberi right now, I wouldn't kick it deep to either one of them.
He does, though. Jones to about the 15, almost lost the ball again, brings it up to about the 28 or so. And here comes the Tigers offense back on. Pittston gave up that one scoring drive, but right now it's their offense. It's doing a nice job. Now the defense comes back on for the Patriots.
And the one thing the Patriots have done is nice job taking time off the clock with all their drives tonight.
We have a flag down. Look like a hold against Tunkhannock. So this drive will back them up. Coach Maribel not happy. I think he's saying, I got my guy did something. So this drive will start right at the 20-yard line for the Tigers, trailing by 13 now. They need to get some score on the board before the half. They have all their timeouts left. Diamato ridden down in the backfield by big number 70, Hugh Bentham, the senior. Had his jersey and wouldn't let go.
Well, you have a 230-pounder against 150, and on that play, Hugh came up huge for the Patriots on that.
Easy for you to say. Chilson to the outside, about 4. Frisco. You want to see Tigers maybe throw it downfield like Pittston area is doing a little bit more?
They're going to set that up. They're going to probably come back. Again, they want Pittston to remember Gavin D'Amato, and they want Jake Frisco, and they're probably going to end up going with, I saw Riley Jones came banged out of that last kickoff return. I haven't seen him back on the offense yet.
He's on the bench. Timing issue, I think, again. So yes, Riley Jones is on the bench, looks banged up. Referee's gonna call him over. Probably put some more time on the clock.
And you mentioned Riley Jones on the bench, and I have to give a shout out to Charlotte Carpenter, who's been the trainer here at Tunkhannock for 20 years. And she does a tremendous job with the players' safety first to make sure they are safe before they can step back out.
Hey, 3rd down and 10 now for Chilson and company. Has somebody over the middle, couldn't get it to him. Flag comes in, almost intercepted. The flag came in from the referee.
Holding. 78.
Coach Barberi is waving that off.
You want to decline that, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely declining, try to get the ball back with 3:28 remaining.
So now it's fourth, so Tigers are going to be forced to punt this.
So this high-powered offense that came in averaging 25 points has only put up 7 on the board. That came in the first quarter.
Well, the Tigers have been infamous for being slow starters, allowing teams to get a lead, then they fight their way back. And I expect the second half, the Tigers are going to probably blow this up.
Krawczyk lets it hit. Pittston area will have excellent field position right near midfield to start this drive.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by the legendary taste of Grotto Pizza, a northeastern Pennsylvania favorite since 1953. Order online now at www.grottopizza.com.
So the Patriots back on for their 5th possession of this half. They scored on 3 of them so far. And let's see what they can do. They have 2 timeouts remaining, 3:19 on the clock. Aceto pulls this one in up past midfield.
Well, on that play, the Patriots came out in a balanced set, 2 receivers up top, 2 receivers down. Aceto had no intention of throwing. He just said, I'm going to run this. Again, another wrinkle for the Tigers to think about.
What have you liked about the Pittston area offense tonight?
I like that the offensive line has been given Aceto the time. And Aceto's doing a tremendous job with the open-handed fake, doing his rollout, and he's throwing. Again, I can't say enough about his receivers, especially Andrew Krawczyk right now.
Atkins again. Comes around. And going to be close to a first down. Little jet sweep action. Or was that 26?
That was,
Yep, that was
yep.
Simons. No, it's 28. No, Atkins, that was Atkins, number 28, who did run the ball, and they're going to be 3rd and 1 on the way. They're going to try deep for Higgins again, and just out of the reach, but a flag comes in.
And they got it. Again, that's so frustrating as a receiver. You get held, and you immediately look at the official saying what, and it was there.
So we got held on that. That will be a big penalty because that will keep the drive going. Under 2 minutes here in the first half.
Gives them a key first down here, puts them deeper into Tunkhannock territory. And again, you teach your secondary, if you are going to get beat, do it, because it's not like the NFL where it's a spot foul. So it's better than giving up 6.
I like the play call, though. On 3rd and 1, you're going to throw it long. Don't worry about it. They're going for it on 4th down. That was the obvious thing, right?
Yes.
Holding.
It was 2 downs there.
Defense. Number 2. 10 yards to the previous spot. First down.
That puts the ball inside the 35. Aceto with room to run. Couple tacklers miss. Aceto trying to get out of bounds. He will, just past the yard marker.
On this play, he's looking downfield. There's nothing there. Good coverage by the Tigers. Tucks it up and runs, and he gets so many yards after the first, second initial hits, and he gets himself out of bounds, saves a timeout.
A very smart play from number 7. Also knew where the line to gain was. Just got the ball past it. Moved the chains. Chucks it to the end zone. No flags. It goes incomplete. Trying to hit Krawczyk there.
I was corrected by the Pittston coaches. It's Krawczyk.
Oh,
So We apologize to the family for the mispronunciation. Well, they keep picking on number 2 out here, down here, so they must feel that they have a better matchup.
Just over 90 seconds left. Trying to hit Anastasi, who was open right over the middle. So a big third down on both sides. Pittston area trying to extend that lead. Tunkhannock wants to hold them. Pittston area will get the ball to begin the third quarter, though.
So they would love to try to get some more points here and put more pressure on Tunkhannock. And we know this is 2 down territory right now.
He's hit as he throws. A flag comes in from the referee. Trying to hit the tight end again. Well, let's see what the flag is. Might be roughing the passer.
I'm not going to try to guess what Mr. Caskey's going to call here.
Talking to the Pittston area players.
Holding. Here.
So it's a holding call. There you see the referees tonight. So
Number
look at
63, decline. 4th down.
That goes Tunkhannock's way. 4th down now for Pittston area.
What you'll see, they go with split backs and they swing them out wide. He's right there, and he's just frustrated right now. And Nacito might be so used to Krawcheck out there trying to catch that ball. He's throwing it, I guess, a little bit high for him, for Anastasi.
Well, that's one guy you might want to get 2 players on, is Krawcheck. Atkins went inside. Nacito thought he went outside. And it falls incomplete. Tunkhannock holds. 1:24 left. They have all their timeouts remaining. And with the way they throw the ball, a lot of time on the clock still for Tunkhannock. So 3 incompletions in a row. Well, I should say 2. One was negated by the flag.
They look, right there in that last series, Pittston looked a little gassed and like just don't have that pep in their step right now. Right now, the Tigers have a sense of urgency. They want to try to close that gap so that when Pittston gets the ball to start, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's something trick like an onside kick to start the half.
There you saw former Tunkhannock player Mike Maribel, who took over a couple years ago. Chilson being chased. Oh, in and out of the hands
of Nate Lord.
Nathan Lord. Number 15 almost had it.
On this play, again, it was he's rolling to his right, then it's a jailbreak. He goes to the left, and this is where it's tough for receivers because you're not sure where he's going to be, but Nate was there. And we talk about getting pinky to pinky when it's over your shoulder like that.
Looked like number 40, Patterson, on the coverage. Big hit on Matt Perbola. Short game. And a timeout call. Higgins laying the lumber.
He did on that play. That was tremendous. Again, Pittston's playing that cover 2 look, so the inside slot receivers, the closest defender to them is 10 yards away. And again, Matt Perbola did a nice job just going to that dead zone to get a nice 5-yard gain.
So last week, Pittston lost to Berwick. They lead Williamsport tonight in the second, 14-3. It's at halftime now, is that Berwick game. Wilkes-Barre leading Nanticoke 28-0, trying to pick up win number 2 for the Wolfpack.
Pack's on the roll.
Yeah, Lakeland is leading Riverside 14-0. Riverside was 2-0 coming in.
They were.
So here were the keys for the first half. Brought to you by Grotto Pizza. Well, they fumbled once. They fumbled really twice. They recovered one, lost one. And I don't think they've run the offense efficiently tonight. Could be a little bit more efficient.
Well, the Pittston, give that to the defense.
Over the middle, and a late hit, and Frisco on a late flag. Or is that Jones? That's Frisco.
That was Frisco.
Yep. But a late shoulder in there. The referee probably said defenseless wide receiver.
It
right?
was, and it was the ball was already come and gone, so that just doesn't make sense. I understand that you right here, you'll see it coming up. He did. I mean, it wasn't cheap in terms of he didn't lead with his head or anything like that. It's just that you don't need to have that contact. There was no reason for it. I'm sure that's what the officials saw.
Higgins tried to hold up. You saw him trying to hold up, but he committed to the hit.
And you can't take the aggressiveness out of this game.
We have an illegal formation. 5 yards back this way.
This is going to be, so wait a minute. So what we thought was the flag is not the flag? I'm confused.
They
picked it up?
What they have to mark off the offensive one first, then tack it back up. So
you saw the illegal formation call. Now there's the
personal
foul call against Tunkhannock. So the ball is finally placed and the chains will move at the 36-yard line, 58 seconds on the clock. So a little bit of confusion. Coach straightened it out. At least you knew what was going on.
You know, after all these years, and especially with this game with Pittston, there's been some really, really wonky calls, and you just kind of scratch your head.
So Tunkhannock is the favorite on that decision. And Chilson will go back to work. Plenty of time, and finally it collapses, and he's taken down for the sack. Joe Galonis.
And on that play, Pittston only went with a 4-man rush on this. They dropped the extra defender back in the secondary, and they still got lots of pressure for the sack.
Credit also the secondary for
covering down any threats.
Tunkhannock timeout.
September is National Recovery Month, and our community is celebrating. Join us for the Scranton Recovery Walk this Sunday beginning at noon. The walk begins at the Clearbrook Foundation Hall on 8th Avenue in Scranton. We'll have brass bands performing, bounce houses, face painting, and a list of terrific speakers.
So we're 48 seconds away from halftime. Pittston area leads 20-7. Just one touchdown scored in the second quarter by the Patriots. Now Tunkhannock trying to close that gap before the half. They have one timeout left, but after the sack, it's second and forever. Call it 2nd and 17. Chilson with time. Looking for anybody. Throws it up in the triple coverage, and it's knocked down by Higgins, incomplete.
And Chilson took a hit, and he is down.
And there you see him down.
On this play, Chilson's looking to his right, rolls to his right, feels the pressure, goes back to his left, and right there, he just got a great hit put on him. Great defensive coverage back there. Matt Perbola was covered like a blanket out there.
Well, it's third down. There you see Jack Chilson coming off. He walks off on his own accord.
That's a good sign.
The backup quarterback happens to be his brother Ben,
who's just 2 inches shorter than he is.
But he's a freshman. So number 5, so Chilson for Chilson. This is number 5 now on a 3rd and long.
confusion in the back on that play, backfield. Chilson went to hand it off, and the running back.
Well, it's a difficult situation when the starting quarterback just comes out. Pittston has 2 timeouts left. They call one of those. Force them to punt and see what happens. So the sack by Galonis, the big play on that drive.
Absolutely, that was key. And then you saw that Chilson had to come out for a play. And now, again, Tigers couldn't get anything going on that, so now we have fourth and 16, it looks like.
Always a favorite when we come to the games is the Fox 56 interactive tent. You get to spin the wheel and maybe take home a prize. Either it has Fox on it or one of our programs, many programs on the CW, MyTV, and on Fox as well.
Am I allowed to go down at halftime and try it?
Also, maybe you can pick up a career from Allied Services. Keystone College also there as well. So after the timeout, Pittston comes back out. The junior punter back. Make sure the snap is good and everything. It is. Big rush. Krawczyk has an opportunity from his 38. But the special teams does their job. Frisco down there. Ball at the 41.
I think Coach Barberi will just be happy to take a knee to get out at halftime.
Coming up at the Toyota halftime report, we'll hear from our friends at the Fox 56 News First on 10. Check on the headlines you'll see tonight on the news. And Paul Grippy will be joined by our friends from Allied Services, talk about careers at Allied. And then Jan and I will be back with first half highlights and analysis. That's coming up on the Toyota halftime report.
On a return, number 40 White.
They're definitely taking a knee now.
Yes.
But what a great first half for Pittston area after getting shut out last week by Berwick. They come up with 20 points, give up only 7, and Coach Barberi has to be happy. At the half, we'll see if Paul will grab him going in. They came out with a very balanced attack.
They did, and last week, going against a very good Berwick team, which changed from week 1 to week 2, Berwick's attitude. Their defense came out and just pounded Pittston, and Coach Barberi was very pleased that none of his players were hurt.
So Pittston area leads this one at the half 20-7. Could be on their way to their 25th win over Tunkhannock in the series history. But we still have a half to play here at Tunkhannock Memorial Stadium. And let's go down to Paul right now.
Coach, both teams have really committed to the pass here. Was that what you expected?
No, not at all. They're doing a good job with it. We expect more run out of them. We prepared wrong this week, so we're going to have to make some adjustments now and get a better second half.
Adjustments and corrections. What kinds of things will you want to correct from this first half?
We got to catch the ball. It's a simple adjustments on us. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We're beating ourselves again. We got to mentally get a little tougher. Things will work out in the second half.
Okay, thank you very much. Coach Mike Maribel of Tunkhannock down by 13 at the half.
Thank you, Paul. As Coach Maribel walks in to halftime, he'll talk to his Tigers, but the Patriots lead them 20-7 at the half. Our Toyota halftime report is on the way.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Third quarter coming up, but halftime continues on Friday Night Rivals, and we are at Allied Services on the Morgan Highway in Scranton. I'm joined by Jim Bronya, the Vice President of Allied Services. Jim, Allied is just such a large presence in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, the largest employer in Lackawanna County. What makes it such a great place to work, and what kind of job opportunities are available?
Oh, I appreciate you identifying that. I would actually say that the diversity of our organization is one of our biggest strengths, and the diversity of our employees. There are so many opportunities from entry level out of high school and college to advanced nursing careers, and we have so many jobs in between that create opportunities for people, family sustaining jobs and wages, and really great benefits of working for a quality nonprofit.
So when you think of Allied, you usually think of rehabilitation services, and then that would mean you have therapists working here. But so much more than therapists, so many different kinds of versatile jobs.
Yeah, therapy is obviously what we're known for. When you have the best rehabilitation hospitals in the country, the best skilled in long-term care, the best outpatient therapy, in transitional rehab, sometimes we only think about physical therapists, and we have therapy aides, and we have assistants and occupational therapists in speech. But more importantly, going above and beyond that, we have some of the best nurses in the entire state of Pennsylvania. We have from entry-level nurse aides. We have CNA training right now, where we have a program where we will pay for you to become a CNA. We'll pay your training, and we'll also have a guaranteed job upon graduation from the program, which is really an outstanding opportunity for entry into the nursing fields. And of course, we have excellent LPNs, excellent registered nurses, and we have some that are such advanced certified rehabilitation nurses. We have nurse practitioners who work for our palliative program, and we have so many other advanced credentialed clinicians, but we have a diverse job opportunities for everyone.
And we know the main campus is located in Scranton, but Allied is spread out all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania, so job creation in many of the communities throughout this region. Allied is a nonprofit organization, and that's a nice little feature of working at Allied.
It absolutely is. I think when employees come to stay, and some of them, we had several employees that just recently retired, 50-year employees, and Allied is 61 years old. The reality is once you find the right niche and the right career path, there's growth internally. We have so many different unique opportunities as a nonprofit. For example, we have developmental positions where people working with adults with severe developmental challenges. We have unmarked and non-labeled behavioral health professionals working with people with mental illness in the community in transition in Pottsville and Luzerne County and Lackawanna County and in Bradford County. And then there's a variety of vocational training and employment opportunities where you're either working with someone with a disability to get them a job or a better quality of life, or really supporting people's needs. And I think as a nonprofit, we're always reinvesting in those facilities, our people, and our technology to have the best possible success.
Yeah, Allied Services helping the community in so many ways through offering employment and obviously the services that they provide. Jim Bronya, Vice President of Allied Services, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of our schedule this season. We'll be back with more Friday Night Rivals right here on MyTV WQMY.
Oh, okay.
Back in Tunkhannock, the score 20-8 at the half. Tunkhannock coming on the field. But before the game, as we always do, Rebecca Montross from Allied Services presented Todd Bozier, the principal from Tunkhannock, a check for $250. We thank Allied Services for sponsoring Friday Night Rivals and helping us support high school football in northeastern Pennsylvania. Let's go down the poll now with Coach Barberi.
Okay, Coach, you have a 13-point halftime lead here. You really came out passing a lot. What did you know in preparing for this game that made you want to pass so much?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that we wanted to pass so much, but we were having a hard time running the ball. And so we had to resort to the pass, which has worked well for us in the first half. I'm happy with us offensively, except for the last two drives we stalled. We could have two more scores. Defensively, I think we're doing great, with the exception of the one long run that gave up a score. So I'm pleased with our first half, but we still got a half to go.
And keeping with the pass, or you try to establish the run?
I always want to establish the run. We got to figure out how to do that. They're doing a great job of stuff in the box, which makes us throw the ball. If we have to continue to throw the ball, we will, but we're going to try and run the ball here a little bit in the second half.
Okay, Coach, good first half. Good luck in the second half. And yeah, Pittston turning into a passing team. Didn't expect that, but they seem to be pretty good at it, Bob.
Thank you, Paul. We are back inside the booth. Bob Ide and Coach Cheechak, yeah, he talked about Pittston area. He's happy with that. I think the run set up the pass for them.
Oh, absolutely did. They were getting those quick traps with the fullback. They had the blast running really well. And then all of a sudden, add in the mix, you got Higgins and you got number 6, Andrew Krawczyk out there.
Yeah, he's out there playing pretty well. So let's take a look at some first half highlights, and you're going to see a lot of number 6 in those highlights. The first touchdown of the game was Nacito to Krawczyk, and that got Pittston area going on their opening possession with a nice 76-yard drive.
And Jack Chilson returns the favor to get the Tunkhannock Tigers back in, 7-7. Nacito, good.
Krawczyk again.
And a key block by Higgins out there to spring him to the outside.
So the Krawczyk number
Number 6 was very dominant. This is going to be Higgins gets a ball in on Riley Jones. The fumble recovery by Pittston area. Tunkhannock area held. The only score of the second quarter was this pass Nacito to Higgins, and he's laying it out. Nice pitch and catch, and looked pretty good.
It was beautiful. They did a nice job. We got a great high school football game going here at Tunkhannock Memorial Field this evening.
We do. Nacito in the game is 12 of 19 for 186 yards, has 3 touchdowns. Krawczyk has caught 6 of those for 93 yards. He has 2 of those touchdowns. On the other side, Chilson is 9 of 15 for 63 yards. So he's not playing his best. So what does Tunkhannock have to do here now in the second half to get back in this one?
First, on defense, they've got to do a little bit better job on the coverages to take that away from Pittston, and then have them go back to their run game, because Coach Barberi feels as though that the Tunkhannock Tigers are really stopping them. And for Tunkhannock's offense, Coach Maribel said they just have to catch the ball a little bit better. And again, I think they have to start to, as Coach Koharski and I, we've talked over and over about the offensive line dominating.
Well, both these teams in the mix for the 4A playoffs. Obviously, Dallas and Berwick have already beaten each of these teams. Valley View's playing very well. Crestwood is winning tonight, so these two teams need a win to keep things moving in 4A to have a chance at the playoffs.
They do, and it's still early in the season. 3 games in, and you have to start to worry about those playoffs. And both teams hold their destiny in their own hands.
Of course, the points on the right is the rating system, which went into effect last year, or a couple years ago, and
a few years ago.
Played out pretty well.
It does. It kind of gives those smaller schools a chance to be more competitive in terms of trying to make the playoffs, because there's teams that sit at home and they've had great seasons. One of those would be Coach Haslett down at Northwest.
Well, we talked about the disparity in passing, but how about the rushing attack tonight? Pittston area has run the ball 20 times for 88 yards, but Tunkhannock has rushed it only 9 times for 29 overall yards.
And I think Gavin D'Amato has to be more of a factor in this game for the Tigers to be successful this evening.
He has 5 carries in that first half for 33 yards. One of those was a big run that set up that Chilson 1-yard touchdown. So the Patriots will get the ball to begin the third quarter. Montross tees it up at the 40, and we are set for second half action here in Wyoming County. And there you see the kick. Goes into the end zone. That's a weapon. That will bring the ball out and set up Pittston area pretty well.
Makes kickoff coverage very easy. Bob, you and I could be on that kickoff team if they're putting it in the end zone.
I don't know if we could run down the field.
One time at least.
So here comes the offense for the Patriots. Mike Nacito, we talked about him. His first half stats, very impressive. Throwing the ball all over the place. So the ball's placed at the 20. A big test now for Tunkhannock's defense.
And Riley Jones, number 11, who was on the bench, injured on the play, is back in center field for the Tigers.
We'll go right back to the air. Swing it out to Franny George.
Franny George lines up at that fullback position. Bob, you mentioned the 20 rushes that Pittston had, and a big key thing that's never really talked about too much is the amount of time that the Patriots took off the clock in the first half.
Yeah, time of possession was definitely in favor of the Patriots. Back to the eye. Nice pass from Nacito going to the left side. Hits Krawczyk on the sliding catch for a first down.
On this play, you'll see that there's backside pressure there from inside linebacker Ty Conan, and they still, that innate ability those two have, that interconnection, they're getting things done for the Patriots. Krawczyk and Nacito.
Nacito against Nanticoke this year, 8 of 14 for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was their win that was the first game of the year for Pittston area. Gonna keep going to the air. Well, they tried to hit Lekonchko on a fly, but it was intercepted.
Ball.
The ball came out, but it was recovered by Conan, but the interception was by Michael Sickler.
You see that the pressure was there, and Sickler was right where he was supposed to be in terms of being a linebacker. Good things happen when you go to your area of responsibility.
Well, they're lucky there to get that ball back. So a big break for Tunkhannock in this game. Trailing by 13, they'll have the ball at the Pittston area 30-yard line. Chilson comes back out after being shaken up late in that second quarter. They'll go to the air. No one open. Just shoots it down to the legs of his tight end, Zacharias. Pittston area playing the pass very well this evening.
They are defending it. Doing a great job back there. And the Patriots on that play, they just weren't quite set, but they did have some pressure come from backside. Chilson luckily was rolling away from it.
Speaking of the Nanticoke game, Chilson in that game was 11 of 20, 149 yards for 2 touchdowns. He can throw it around. They get it back to the outside. So they get some of the yardage they need. Third down upcoming.
And that was Nate Lord on the reception from Jack Chilson. Jack Chilson's pass is complete to Nate Lord. Tackled by Randy George. Game 4.
Pump fake by Chilson down to his big tight end. Higgins was draped all over him. Goes incomplete.
So you'll see there Jack Chilson rolling to his right. The offensive line is giving him time to throw, and that's just great coverage right there by Higgins.
We have a senior back there.
So would you go for a fake field goal right now, or would you go with, if you have Jackson Montross, what would you do?
I'm going to kick it. You need points. You cut it in half. So Montross, the hole by Chilson, will be about the 33-yard line. A 43-yard kick. Snap was off to his Chilson's backside. He did a good job to guide it back even into place. And maybe that affected the way Montross
timing's everything, and that's really tough, especially with the way that snap went.
So Tunkhannock on that possession after the fumble can't come up with any points, but still a lot going on here in Tiger Country, and Paul Grippy has more with a special guest.
Thanks, Bob. Tonight at Tunkhannock Stadium is Charlie Shaw night, and they pick one game a year to dedicate to the memory of Coach Charlie Shaw, who just supported this athletic program for a lot of years. I'm joined by Ed White, who was an assistant coach and friend of Charlie Shaw. What happens every year on Coach Charlie Shaw night? What do we want to remember and dedicate?
Well, one of the best things I'd say, everybody in the community loved the guy. He really was and they always, he's never I don't think he's out of anybody's mind. Charlie's, I talk to people almost every day that somebody brings his name up. And the things I'd like to see that scholarship is really grow.
A scholarship is part of the ceremonies tonight. A presentation was made before the game, but he really developed Tunkhannock area high school sports. He started the wrestling program. He coached a lot of teams. He was just dedicated to the youth playing sports in this area.
And also after he finished the coaching, and then he became the athletic director. And he helped them, all the new coaches coming in, learned a lot from him.
And what are these kids today? What could they say they owe to Coach Charlie Shaw?
Well, the kids today, I think most of them who didn't even know him, through the people that coached here, they were told of who he was, and they all know well his pictures down at the weight room down there for the dedications. It's also in the high school, and he's well remembered for almost everything he coached. Was anyone seen him anywhere at all?
He coached 5 sports. He was the athletic director. He is in the Luzerne County Sports Hall of Fame, East Stroudsburg University Sports Hall of Fame, Marine. We lost him in 2008. You still miss your friend?
I sure do. I was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2003. Yeah. And we still get together a lot of the guys that we have. In fact, we just had the dinner about 2 Sundays ago down at in Genetti's.
All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight and keeping the memory going. And yeah, tonight is Coach Charlie Shaw night at Tunkhannock, and the result of this game will be put on a plaque which hangs in the weight room here at Tunkhannock. Bob?
There you see Pittston area back to the game. They had a couple positive plays, Coach, through the air.
They did, and on this play, Alex Anastasi, I thought the ball was picked and does a great job taking it right up over his shoulder and then getting those yards after the catch to set the Patriots up at the 30-yard line for in Tunkhannock territory.
Yeah, and he took it out of a Tunkhannock Tigers' hands.
He just reached up over Michael Sickling. Yeah.
So it keeps the drive going. After the interception, Tunkhannock couldn't score. Pittston area now trying to add to their lead. Kochko cuts it back and is taken down inside the 25.
That's a name we haven't really called too much, has been Dylan Lakachkos. And I know Coach Barberi earlier in the week felt that he has to, on the toss play here, here's Dylan doing a nice job getting those yards and the offensive line. If you see those big boys out there, they're getting it done for him.
Flag came in. Down on the play. It's down near the 20-yard line. So let's see the call now from Harry Caskey.
I've got a hold. Number 6. 10 yards for the spotted a foul. Replayed it down. Now I have to reset the clock.
So a lot of information in that. So the hold, Krawczyk, from the spot of the foul, will put it past the 30 to the 33-yard line, bring up first down at about 13 or so after that good run by Lakachko. They'll have to reset the clock as both teams will wait. So we talked about Shaw. Can you add to that at all? I mean, you're in this school. You were a coach here.
I've had the fortunate ability to work up here for the last 20 years, and I met Coach Shaw after I was hired. He wanted to sit down, and he was picking my brain to see where I was philosophically with football, how I was going to treat the kids up here in Tunkhannock, and we had a great relationship. He had a lot of knowledge he wanted to impart, and we'll come back to that in a second.
Trying to hit the screen. They do, and a lot of traffic somehow. Anastasi came up with that ball.
Ty Conan should have picked that off on that. He does a great job sniffing that out. He comes back, swings. I'm sorry, that was Nate Lord. Excuse me, that was Nate Lord that was right there covering that up. 77, Alex Daly did a nice job with pressure, then turned around, retraced his steps to follow that out. But Coach Shaw always had ideas for you. He was there at practices. He would just tell you, hey, number 16, tell him to do this, or number 74.
Cito out to Higgins this time. Higgins up close to a first down is belted out of bounds. He bounces back up, and the ball will be inside the 20 and move the chains.
One of our camera guys just got taken down.
We'll check on Tyler. But after the play,
you
a
see
gain
that
of 16.
Nacito rolling to his left, and Higgins does a great job coming out there and just making things happen.
And there you see the camera. Lakachko on the toss, loses it, and he's belted down as he was going down, and Zacharias made him stay down.
Yeah, and Jamal is 260 pounds, so I'm sure on that play, Lakachko felt that, especially when he was being bent backwards.
So after the loss, it will back them up. Bring up second down. Over the middle again to the tight end. Anastasi up to the near the 10.
Be close for, it's really short for that first down. I'd like to, give respect to the Galonis brothers out there for the playing tackles for the Patriots. Hugh Benham, Tegan Raboli, and Adrian Colon out there for the offensive line. They've really been doing a nice job trying to keep the pressure off of Nacito.
Pittston area again inside the Allied Services red zone. Nacito, quarterback sneak, still on his feet. Mike Nacito's in for a Pittston area touchdown on a QB sneak from 11 yards.
We come back to this, you'll see that it's just that quarterback sneak. The Tigers were in there, linebackers crept up. Nacito did a nice job just keeping his feet moving. He delayed a second, that's what gave him that burst out to the left side. Patience at that, especially on a quarterback draw.
What this Pittston area offense is doing is taking time off the clock and keeping that high-powered Tunkhannock offense
off the field.
You talked about time of possession. They owned it in the first half, did Pittston area, and that was a nice long drive. They'll go for 2. Out to George. And if that pass is a little higher, it'd be incomplete. But it's a touchdown in the books. 5:30 left in the third quarter. And Pittston area extends their lead now to 19 over Tunkhannock.
You're watching live high school football on MyTV WQMY.
There are the Tunkhannock cheerleaders. Thank you to Mr. Walter State Farm sponsoring that cheerleader tonight. Their team needs something to cheer about. They're down 26-7 in a series that, Pittston area has pretty much owned this series over the years. They lead 24-14 in the series, coach, on a Keystone College kickoff. This one coming back.
I believe the Patriots may have anticipated a little bit too soon.
So flag down. Will back them up.
To answer your question, Bob, yeah, the Pittston has had Tunkhannock's number, and it's just tough. Sometimes you're going in, you're thinking this is the year, and you don't catch the ball. You have a fumble, and you can't recover from that.
So Anthony Thomas will do the Keystone College kickoff for the second time. This time from his 35. So should be good field position for Tunkhannock to get back in this one.
They've had good field position on their kickoff returns, and Gavin D'Amato, and rightly so, they're kicking away from him.
Looks like Ty Conan back there, number 21 this time. Had been Riley Jones.
Yeah, Riley's on. I'm seeing him on the sideline here, so maybe they just didn't want him. They just need him on the offensive and defensive side. They don't want to risk him losing him on his special teams.
So here we go again with the Keystone College kickoff from Anthony Thomas. They do kick it away from D'Amato. Will go out of bounds, so that'll be good field position for the Tigers. So what do we want to see from Tunkhannock now on offense?
Let's get first downs. Let's just worry about getting first downs, moving the ball.
And they're going to kick it over.
Well, how about kick number 3? But go ahead, let's talk about Tunkhannock. When they do get the ball, when they do get the ball, again, keep going.
They're going to just want to try to set up, do the methodical. Let's get first downs. They've been going really long, and I think that if they just worry about the first downs, they're going to eventually get down into the red zone and into the end zone. And again, they have the weapons out there. Frisco he really can move really well, and he's a tall target for Jack Chilson. And the offensive line for the Tigers has given Jack time to throw. But the X factor is Gavin D'Amato. They got to get the ball in his hands.
Well, they have to get him the ball here on the kickoff. Third time's a charm, I hope. D'Amato catches it, but he put
His
an
knee
E down.
was down. Yeah.
So after all that, Tunkhannock will get the ball around the 30-yard line.
I think the ones that are tired right now would be the Pittston kickoff team.
Yeah.
And we do that, again, I used to do that because I would feel that the kids on kickoff are good for one play, and then if you make them do it the second time, kids are going to take it a little bit more easy. They might be winded, but doing it a third time, it should be to the offense's advantage.
So Aceto has been part of all 4 touchdowns tonight for Pittston area. Now Jack Chilson's turn, the other number 7. D'Amato, quick kick. Comes up for 11, and a late flag because a late hit. Didn't know if they were going to throw the flag, saw the late hit, but they did.
That again, question again, kids, the player safety has got to be utmost importance to the referees. So if they see anything questionable, they're going to throw the flag because they don't want it to come back on anybody that gets hurt. You'll see it right here. Gavin D'Amato. Oh.
Personal foul. Late hit. Number 8. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Well, that penalty was on number 8, Jimmy Spindler, who's a 9th grader playing defensive back for the Patriots. So again, he's trying to make sure that he makes his mark. And that's what I think the ref saw was the helmet as they came down. It was helmet to helmet, little contact there.
So Tunkhannock from the Patriots 45. Oh, they have snuffed out this run all night long. Great job by Alex Hoban, another sophomore. Holds D'Amato for no gain.
But I think they're going to call a face mask on this, Bob.
Well, they're going to get a gain on the penalty.
Well, that's. But there was a little miscommunication on that handoff between Chilson.
Yep. I don't know if we saw. I didn't see the face mask.
I didn't see it either. I know that their hands were coming up. I saw hit the shoulder pad. I didn't see it, but I'm not on the field.
Well, 2 penalties now has given Tunkhannock excellent field position. Now to the Patriot 30.
That's 30 yards in offense right there in 2 plays.
Oh, when you're a team trailing by 19, you'll take that.
Absolutely.
Another drop pass. Saw a bunch of those in that first half. Coach Maribel talked about that going into halftime. Need to catch the ball.
They do. And on that play, number 70 for Pittston, Hugh Bentham, he was putting pressure. He was right in Jack's face, and Jack threw that ball down low and away.
D'Amato going nowhere. Jack Simons, the junior, stood him up.
And again, Gavin's got great spark and he's got great abilities, but again, being 150 pounds, and when you get hit by 200, 220, you lose that advantage.
They hit Probola over the middle, and a nice catch for a first down. Good for 10 and move the chains.
They go with a nice crossing pattern in here for the 2 inside slots. You have the 2 outside receivers running the corners off, so that opens it up.
So inside the Allied Services red zone, Chilson back to work, and another drop pass by Probola this time again, after he makes that nice catch. See what they're doing with that slot receiver.
They're trying to isolate, again, as I said earlier, with the cover 2 that they're playing, because the safeties are 10 to 12 deep. So they're trying to isolate those inside slots.
Couple yards from D'Amato, not much there.
Number 43 for the Patriots, Brian Herron. He's playing linebacker. Did a nice job reading that and stuffing it right up inside.
Big rush, good job by the offensive line. So it'll be 4th down, but pass caught by Frisco. They'll be about a yard short.
Interesting pattern. They what we call like a whirly bird, where he comes in and he spins and then goes to the outside on that.
So 4th and 1 from about the 10 inside the Allied Services red zone.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout, Tigers. 3:18 remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have your TiVos,
So Tunkhannock next week will head to Honesdale, try to pick up a win. See what happens here, though. We're still in the 3rd quarter.
At Quad A Driving Academy, our students do not have to go to the DMV to take their test. They test with us. Less stress means a higher pass rate. We're the only full-service driving training school able to serve Luzerne, Lackawanna, and nearby counties. Check us out at quadadrive.com.
A couple scores in the Wyoming Valley. We saw the Spartans last week lose to Hazleton. Well, tonight Crestwood is all over them, 35-2. Of course, we saw their quarterback
go down,
Dante Rhodes. So that was a tough one. Dunmore's rebounding against Carbondale after their loss last week to Mid-Valley. They lead Carbondale 28-0. That is in the 3rd quarter. And Lake Lehman with a big win last week over Lakeland. They're beating Hanover. A couple scores from Friday night in northeastern Pennsylvania. Mono going nowhere on the 4th down. And he didn't get it.
The Tigers went with that counter tray action where they pulled a guard and tackle. I really thought they've set that up the last 3 games where they run that, but the quarterback boots legs away from that side where they're pulling.
Well, we talked about the Pittston area offense all night long, but it's the defense that's doing an awesome job on this high-powered offense here. The 4th
right
down
there,
again.
you can see there's the counter tray. They pulled, they stuffed it. That means the front side for the Pittston line did a tremendous job. That's number 70, Hugh Bentham, out there. And then Adrian Colon.
And Joe Galonis, too. He saw 65. Yep. So the Patriots go back to work, trying to work on the clock now, up by 19 here in the 3rd quarter.
Again, Coach Barberi will do what he does with the time management. There's no urgency on their end. They're going to take these down to 5 seconds or less before they snap the ball. And they're moving the ball effectively against the Tiger defense.
Well, he talked about he wanted them to be tough this year. He wanted Pittston area to be a tougher team. They're definitely playing tough tonight, especially on the defensive side.
Oh, big time. After getting punched in the mouth like they did last week against Berwick, the Patriots have responded very well on both sides of the ball. That last play, the Tiger defense swarmed and stuffed that play right there. There's that little outside zone. There was nowhere for Lukashko to go. Brought down by a host of Tiger tacklers.
Yeah, their defense now needs to step up. Now 3rd and 2. They need to get the ball back.
And they're getting a little winded, I would imagine, because they've been on the field a long time.
Aceto, QB sneak. It's going to be Penn on the mark. Did he get that line to gain?
Is it close, or are they going to do a measurement? What do you think, Bob?
They're going to measure.
All right, that's smart on Mr. Caskey's officiating crew.
They're going to go grab the chains and bring them over. Pittston area next week doesn't get any easier. They go to Dallas, take on the Mountaineers.
And Dallas is on a roll. They're going to be 3-0 by this evening. Last time I checked, I believe the score was 20-0. And that was early in the game. I think it was 2nd quarter. Coach Manel has done a tremendous job down there with Dallas. And again, he paid his dues when he had all those kids as freshmen playing. And a lot of the schools up here in the Wyoming Valley Conference are starting to follow that model that he set.
Okay, here's the stretch of the chains. Oh, he's going to be short by about a yard. So a call now for Coach Barberi.
If you don't kick it and you don't make it, well, you give excellent field position to the Tigers.
And he probably has the confidence in his defense at that point, and his offensive line has done a nice job.
Well, they're still on the field. The offense is going to go for it on 4th down.
Right now, I'm sure Coach Barberi, when they were doing the measurement, he was talking to Nacito and said, let's go with a hard count.
Yep. Oh. Oh, well, that's going to go against Pittston area, I think. Tried the hard count, kind of backfired a little bit.
Dead ball foul, false start, number 65 White.
Oh, here comes the punt team now, right?
Here comes that punt team, exactly. Which I don't think they punted tonight.
No, we have not seen their punter.
And it is Krawcheck. We saw him booming some in the before the game and pregame. So he does have a good leg if he can get a hold of it. He'll be at his goal line, though. First punt of the night. Comes the big rush. He gets it off quickly. Jones lets it take a bounce. He'll down it about the 43-yard line, and that's where the Tunkhannock offense will come back out onto the field. Well, we expected a good game, and we have seen a good game, but Pittston area has just been a little bit better than Tunkhannock tonight.
Well, they've converted. They've kept those drives. And, Bob, you said the first half they scored on 3 out of their 5 offensive drives, and that's been the key to the game.
And they held possession in that first half 16-7. So they bring a new back in. It's Conan, the sophomore. They give him a try. He's carried the ball 9 times for 38 yards this year and a touchdown.
Ty's also a wrestler, and he's also a member of the track team for Tunkhannock.
To the tight end, can't stay on his feet, just over midfield.
Right now, some of the Pittston coaches are a little upset that there was a late player coming onto the field.
Quickly, Tunkhannock to work. Again, that slot receiver, and it's just too hard. Zacharias can't pull it in. So it's 4th down. I mean, what, 30 seconds off the clock.
And that's one of the problems when you go with a no-huddle offense. It is very lethal, as we saw in the first quarter when they scored with it less than 2 minutes, and then you turn it over in 30 seconds.
Coach Maribel, down 19, has no choice but to go for it, and they lose the ball. So no matter who gets it, it's Pittston area's ball in midfield, and the defense holds again.
Coach Barberi's got to be feeling good with his defense right now, that they're doing a nice job. They're playing fundamentally sound, and they're keeping their cools about things. They're not going to let anything get into their head or into the way of their victory this evening.
Well, they're definitely getting into the heads of Tunkhannock because their offense has been negated in this game. They have not done well. They have a lot of drop passes, too.
And that's the frustrating thing as a coach. You sit there on a Friday night, you know you schemed it up well, and you know what they have to do. When kids drop balls, you can't. How do you adjust for that?
Back to work. Pittston's going to go through the air. Blocked down by Zacharias on the defensive side. And a late hit as Nacito goes down. Off camera. I don't know if we have an angle on that, but I'm not sure we did it, but definitely going to be a personal foul. So
personal foul, late hit.
Frustration setting in on the Tunkhannock defense.
You'll see this coming in, and it was plays away. They're trying to go with the bootleg. Ball's definitely out, and then just in there, number 42, Ryan Simmons for Tunkhannock.
That will give them up to the 35, a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. And again, Pittston area is inside Tiger territory. We've said that a lot tonight.
Yes, we have. One thing also, Bob, is the 12th man, which is that 140-piece marching band, has been very quiet this evening.
Atkins bobbles, but it doesn't mean anything. Shuttles through for another first down. And this should be the last play of the third quarter after they move the chains. No need to snap it. And that will do it. So Pittston area puts another touchdown on the board. They extend their lead now over Tunkhannock here in Wyoming County. Looking for win number 2, Pittston area on their way. We are back in Tunkhannock. Pittston area beating the Tigers 26-7 as we start the fourth quarter. Well, before the game, Paul Grippy had a chance to talk to kicker extraordinaire Jackson Montross. And let's go to Paul now.
He's the place kicker for the Tigers. Now, Jackson, in your senior year here, what have you done to train and prepare for this season to kick for the team?
I've been working all summer with my kicking coach, John Zima. I've been attending lots of college camps and just, getting more exposure and kicking against some of the best competition in the Northeast.
You've done very well in your career as a kicker, and I know some colleges have shown interest. So what have you gained and what have you experienced from going to those camps?
Just like kind of put myself out there, and I, measuring up to other kickers is something I really wanted to try and do and like see where I stand. And, I performed very well at all these camps.
It's not something that you just fall out of bed and say, I'm going to be a kicker on the collegiate level, right? When did you decide that this was really something you wanted to apply yourself to, and why do you want to do it so much?
I applied myself last year. I've been playing soccer all my life, and the coach actually wanted me to come out and try kicking for the team, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process, the football team, everything. And I really have aspirations to become a college kicker, and I just try and prepare myself every day to become that.
What's your range? What do you feel comfortable at in a game that the coach can send you out there and you think you'll make it?
In a game where I can make probably 45 yards.
All right, that would be impressive. Soccer team's off to an 0-1 start. How's the Tunkhannock Tigers soccer team looking this year?
We're young. We have, I think, 14 freshmen, so that's a lot of freshmen. And, there's healthy competition for spots. Everybody's working really hard. And as a 4-year starter, I'm just kind of passing on all my leadership skills to them, setting a good example.
Good luck in soccer, good luck in football, and good luck with the chance to kick at the collegiate level. Thank you to State Farm agent Melissa Walters from Tunkhannock for allowing us this opportunity.
Thank you, Paul. Montross did have an opportunity tonight for a 43-yard field goal, but the snap was bad and he couldn't get the kick away. Pittston area, Lakachko shoots in for a 13-yard touchdown. Before that, he had a big reception, and Pittston area now extends their lead.
The play right before this where Lakachko scored, he did a tremendous job. Here we go. They just run an ISO play or a blast, and they just blew the Tunkhannock defensive line apart, and he just had a nice job, easy run in to the end zone. But I was saying the play before that, they went to split backfield, and he just swung out, and Nacito, there was pressure. He rolled to his left, and the defender came up, and he just dumped it off to Lakachko for that setup for the touchdown.
The PAT for Matt Soy goes off to the left, but the points are on the board. 11:06 remaining in the fourth. The Patriots now 32-7 over the Tigers. We are back in Tunkhannock. Pittston area puts another touchdown on the board, and they're getting set for a Keystone College kickoff. Anthony Thomas lays it up there. And Gavin D'Amato picks it up from about the 17. Flag comes in. He's ridden down past the 30.
State Farm offers solutions to help you live your life confidently. Get your fast, free quote. Call Melissa at 570-675-6960 or visit myshavertownagent.com for 24/7 service. State Farm is here to help life go right.
Penalty will back up Tunkhannock, and as the sun has set and the cool temperatures have come upon us here in Tunkhannock. The Tunkhannock offense has also cooled off. Just 7 points, and those were in the first quarter. The Pittston area has done a nice job containing just about everything Tunkhannock has thrown out them.
I really thought that Gavin D'Amato would have been a difference in the game, and I thought especially after that first touchdown he scored or set up to score.
They go to D'Amato, shoots through for about 7.
And on that play, like I just said, they need to get Gavin in there. He does a nice job getting 7 yards on that just little zone.
Higgins threw him up and downfield they go. They finally hit Frisco downfield. He can't keep his feet, but it's a big gain to the 44 of Pittston.
That's a great job by Jack Chilson with Jake Frisco. We talked about Nacito and Crosscheck, and now this is what these two guys have in common also. Frisco beats him deep and then just couldn't keep his feet going on the turnaround.
38 yards on that. To Lord. Nate Lord shoots through. So you kind of feel like an offense like Tunkhannock's, once you get some things rolling down, more positive plays, they keep going.
And that's when I said, you asked me earlier, Bob, what does Tunkhannock have to do? They just have to get the first downs. It's going to open it up for them.
Well, they open up to Matt Probola, and 3 completions in a row, and the ball's up to about the 25. They move the chains again. Clock will roll. We don't need a 40-second clock if we're Tunkhannock. Pump and go, and it's almost caught, but a flag is coming in, comes in from the secondary. They're going to say it's a catch. I don't know about that. Let's look at it again.
We need that slow motion NFL stuff they do.
A little slower maybe next time. I think this is going to be negated, though. I have to see what the flag was from the secondary. It came,
that was a great layout reception by Jake Frisco.
Illegal substitution. This team, that's declined. First down.
The ball will be placed at the 1. Tunkhannock quickly inside the Allied Services red zone. From the 1. Tunkhannock in for a touchdown, big number 77, Alex Daly. So the offensive lineman comes in, gets the ball and powers his way in. The offense will stay on and go for 2.
On this play, again, I mentioned earlier, I talked to Alex Daly actually today about this, and he said he was in on an offense. He might get a carry tonight.
Another flag.
The second point. Okay, I can do a little report after it if we can squeeze.
So they go for the PAT. Montross comes on. It's almost a gimme if the snap is good. It is good.
It is good.
It is through. And it's now 32-13, 9:08 remaining in the game. So that was pretty easy. 85-yard drive in about a couple minutes. 4 plays, and they get a touchdown back quickly. And now Paul is down the field.
Hey, Bob. Well, we just saw Alex Daly score that touchdown. Football's not his only sport. Alex is also a member of the Tunkhannock wrestling team. As a matter of fact, 10 members of this football team are also on the Tunkhannock wrestling team. The two sports have a lot in common, but to have 10, that's a high number. But wait for this, though. The Tunkhannock wrestling team has 5 district champions who are also on the football team. So some of these guys are standout wrestlers, including the other running back, Gavin D'Amato. He's a terrific wrestler as well. And Nick Maribel, the son of Coach Mike Maribel. He just finished his freshman year of wrestling and he'll be back on the wrestling team for his sophomore year. So a big tie-in between the football team and the wrestling team here at Tunkhannock. And Jan will tell you more about that, I know.
Oh.
Thanks, Paul.
For the inside scoop, let's go to Jan Cechak.
Well, the Tunkhannock Wrestling is actually looking for a new head coach.
There you go.
Coach Hedgety, actually, he resigned. He's also the girls softball coach, and he wants to concentrate on that. And he just had too much time. He didn't have enough time to do what he was supposed to do at home. And he did a tremendous job with the wrestling program that he took over from Coach Wattis.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay, so a penalty on the PAT, and we're going to kick it from the 45, which means this may go through the goalpost.
it might go out of the stadium with his foot.
So the Keystone College kickoff by Jackson Montross showcased his leg. He's just going to squib it. It might have hit somebody.
Well, it's a live ball.
ball. Who has it? It looked like Tunkhannock has it. But did he touch it? Tunkhannock has the ball. Looks like Tyler Cheslaw, a senior, might have gotten it, number 9.
And he's one of the wrestlers that Paul was just talking about that's on this team.
Was it obvious that they touched it?
It's a live ball.
Yeah.
It's
and no matter what, if
it
they touch it, still doesn't
yeah.
matter. So Tunkhannock now has the ball inside the Allied Services red zone at the Pittston area 15. Chilson to work. It's Probola. This is where the quick offense helps.
Especially with 8 minutes, less than 9 minutes, excuse me.
Down 3 scores. D'Amato to the end zone. Tunkhannock scores another touchdown. 2 in a row, less than a minute. You go for 2 and then down 10?
Yes.
Oh, Montross is out there quickly. This puts you down 3 scores instead of 2. Well, the kick is obviously up and good. So now they're down 11. But if they win for 2, they'd be down 10. If they get it, down 10, which is 2 scores. With a kicker who can kick it from 45 yards.
When you have somebody like a Montross there on the sideline.
Well,
Bob,
if it gets to that point, it's not going to matter. It won't matter. It doesn't matter now, though. Okay, so Tunkhannock going for win number 2 on the season. Again, at Honesdale next week. Then they go to a very tough Wyoming area team. The annual game with Towanda.
Yep.
Heard there's a nice
down
trophy
this year.
involved
this
there.
year, they're, yep.
Crestwood winning tonight. North Pocono, we saw them early on. Mid-Valley with the upset of Dunmore playing better. And then they go to Midwest to end the year.
And Midwest is in their 2nd year of having football at their school.
So 8:37 left, 32-21. 2 scores in a row for Tunkhannock has cut this lead in half.
Right now, you know that they're going to be going with a squib or an onside kick. And it looks like Coach Barberi put all his receivers, running back, the skill kids out there. And he probably re-emphasized just fall on the ball.
Well, there's more energy now on this side of the stadium than there has been all game. It's another Keystone College kickoff. Montross. The onside kick, it does touch someone's hand. But it's picked up by, looks like Alex Hoban, number 1. Here comes the Pittston offense back out.
Bartron Supply in Tunkhannock has been family-owned and operated company for 70 years. We are a one-stop for all your sales, service, parts, and rentals of John Deere, Bobcat, Husqvarna, and Honda. Bartron Supply also has toys for the little ones, plus hats and clothing for everyone. Stop by or visit us online at bartronsupply.com. Visit us at our new Bobcat location in Binghamton for all your Bobcat sales, rentals, parts, and services. Congratulations on your senior years, Jake and Riley.
Big hit put on by Ty Kona, the sophomore, on Lakachko for a loss on the play. So Pittston area, they need first downs. Because suddenly this is a game.
And we said it would come down in the fourth quarter, Bob. We knew that this was going to be a shootout.
Well, it's a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal now. So at some point you have to go for two. Quick hit to Krawczyk. Great tackle to stop the gain out there by Frisco, and it's a 3rd and short.
On this play, again, the Nacito-Krawczyk connection that they have going here, they go with the quick slant. It was a bad snap. It was low, and they just do a nice job with that quick slant. That's, I told you, it's the toughest play in football to defend.
Tunkhannock needs a stop. They'll call a timeout. Will Pittston area to talk this one over.
There you see the Tunkhannock band getting into it finally.
Finally, 140 strong.
Strong, yeah.
That's impressive. So here's what Pittston area has. Again, they go to Dallas, not an easy task. Walton Paulpack getting crushed tonight by Delaware Valley.
And we knew they were rebuilding this year.
West Scranton losing tonight. Williamsport lost to Berwick. Prep plays tomorrow. Crestwood winning, and then, of course, their big game against Wyoming area, which they lost last year. So, you know, there's opportunity for Pittston area if they can get on a roll. Obviously, Dallas is going to be very tough, but that middle of the schedule, there's winnable games.
Very competitive for them. And we know Dallas is the class of Quad A down here in Wyoming Valley Conference. And
Berwick might have something to say about that.
Well, and that's going to be a shootout. We're going to be covering that game.
But your point is made, though. So on a 3rd down, they drop it, and 4th down upcoming. So it stops the clock. And here comes the punt team. D'Amato will go back to receive this. Krawczyk is the punter. Again, he has a good leg. Hangs it up high, away from D'Amato, and takes a nice Patriot bounce inside the 20, and they'll down at about the 16. So that's where Tunkhannock will take over. Down 11 now. So we're into the 4th quarter, and suddenly we might have ourselves a game. I mean,
much to the chagrin of Coach Barberi and his staff right now.
But, you know, give Tunkhannock a lot of credit.
They did. They didn't quit. They keep coming back. And as I said earlier, they just started putting a series of first downs together, and they end up in the end zone.
Positive plays leads to more. So here we go. Chilson back. Has a guy over the middle, and it's dropped. They're going to call it incomplete. It was
Frisco
who dropped it. Maybe he heard the footsteps. Not sure.
You'll see this at Jack Chilson setup. Frisco was doing a post pattern coming across.
Goes incomplete again, trying to hit Frisco again.
Chilson rolling to his left. Again, as a quarter, this is a first down play, and there's the one to Frisco, and he got hit. Never really had the 2 steps that the officials look for to control the ball.
So it's 3rd down now and 10 after 2 incomplete passes. Two safeties for Pittston area. They go over the middle. A low pass is brought in, and I believe they're going to say an incomplete pass. Intended for Perbola. Or is that Nathan Lord? Can't tell by the jerseys anymore.
Yeah, those number cuts are tough.
That's Lord. I think it's Nathan Lord. You see it again, definitely hit the
definitely
ground.
no
Okay,
catch.
so 4th down and 10. You have no choice to go for it. Chilson over the middle again. This one is caught by Riley Jones. Nice catch in traffic, moves the chains.
Here we go. Chilson drops back, and Riley Jones has been playing football with Jack Chilson for 7 years. So they have that connection. There's a flag on the play.
Flag right at the line of scrimmage. Came from the other side. Stops the clock, 6:26. It's going to go against Pittston.
Pittston, this second half has been a little undisciplined. They've had quite a few penalties, and I'm sure Coach Barbieri is really upset with his team for making those mental mistakes.
So it stops the clock. It gives Tunkhannock time now. Harry Caskey will call now from the referee. Legal substitution. Here comes Tunkhannock. Sneak one into D'Amato. First down. Up past the 45. Stops the clock. Quick pass to Frisco, inside the 50 now. Clock still rolling. Just pitch and catch, right, Coach?
That's all it is. And at this point, if Pittston's secondary starts reading Chilson's eyes, they're going to find a little bit of a clue there.
D'Amato, first down. So that will stop the clock now, move the chains as well.
Just the inside zone play with Gavin D'Amato. Got the offensive line for the Tigers. We haven't spoken about them. Alex Smith, Brett Sickler. Here you go. Inside zone. That's just what we call Bob, big on big blocking.
So movement up front. I think this is going to go maybe against Pittston. Yep, going to be offsides.
Encroachment on a defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
As I was saying, Tunkhannock's offensive line starting to gel now and starting to play. Alex Smith, Brett Sickler, Andrew Sluzart, Colin Porosky, and Nick Maribel.
Do you take a shot down the field yet?
Absolutely. At this point, you got 1st and 5. It's an easy call on that.
Oh, in and out of the hands of Frisco, in from the slot. Again, the case of the dropsies.
This is what Coach Maribel was really frustrated about in the first half.
Chilson looking to the outside. That's Frisco again. Goes out of bounds. Move the chains.
And stops the clock, more importantly. Right here, Chilson looks right, comes back to his left.
Quick huddle from Tunkhannock. A lot of time.
And they both have 2 timeouts, Bob. Really wide splits up there for the offensive line right now.
Three-man rush from Pittston area. Over the middle of the big tight end and in and out of his hands.
Great coverage by number 40, Raheem Patterson, for the junior from Pittston.
So Pittston, the Patriots, put 8 guys back.
That makes it tough to take away those zones that they're trying to dink them in.
Had an opportunity. Tough.
They had
Maybe a
2
tough
hands, but
catch.
again, I have to give credit to the secondary on that. He broke that reception up.
Tough catch. Another flag going to go against Pittston.
Foul. Encroachment.
Another one.
Wow.
So it stops the clock, right? That's an
It
important
does.
part.
And it gives them another 5 yards. So with this now a short field and it's an easy throw for Jack Chilson, 25 yards, they should, maybe they're going to go deep on this one.
No, look, Chilson's going to run it. The quarterback to the end zone. Touchdown, Tunkhannock. 28 yards from quarterback Jack Chilson.
Tremendous job on the pull on that one from Jack.
Now I would think you have to go. Now you have to go for 2 now.
You would. I'm not going to say anything.
That might be a mistake because now you need a touchdown.
You need a touchdown to
Instead
win.
of a field goal. Well, no matter what, it's 32-28.
And the Tigers have stopped Pittston. Pittston is now, I think, in shock, and hopefully they can come back out and make something happen for them to try to preserve this lead that they have.
3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter in a matter of, what, 4 minutes?
4.5 minutes.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes. That may just be, we'll see what happens. Now you're down 4. You take it out of your the best kicker maybe in the valley.
So you'll see right here. Look at this long delay. They did that. They bid on D'Amato, and Jack just ran to the end zone on that.
Faked out our camera person for the first time in all year. So it was a great fake. Coach Maribel, onside kick, or do you kick it deep? A lot of time left. And the Tiger defense now has swarmed over the Pittston area offense. So a Keystone College kickoff. Jackson Montross. We know he has the leg to kick it deep. Or is it another squibber trying to get the ball back?
Well, I think they're going to squib it.
3 unanswered touchdowns from Tunkhannock, and suddenly we have ourselves a game. Deep kick. A lot of confusion from Pittston area. They didn't block anybody, and he's ripped down at the 22, and here comes the offense for the Patriots.
Settle in for a full day of Fox College football tomorrow. Starting at noon, Army takes on Michigan, followed by Nebraska and Colorado. Finished with the primetime game of the Buffalo Bulls traveling into Happy Valley. After a ridiculous amount of scoring last week, see what Penn State does to the Bulls defense. Saturday, college football on Fox 56.
Back here in Tunkhannock, Bob Ide, Jan Cechak, and Paul Grippy on the sidelines. We have ourselves a game. It was 32-7, and Nacito hits his favorite target downfield, Andrew Krawczyk, for a big gain into Tiger territory.
Right now, Pittston, with that connection that they have, that can kind of take the wind out of the sails of the Tigers right now, but don't count it down.
42-yard gain for Pittston. I love the play call, though, still being aggressive.
You have to. I mean, you go with what works. You don't have to do any trickery at this point in the game. Do what's got you there.
Back down to the ground game, and Kochko, a couple yards. Clock keeps rolling. The object for Tunkhannock, get the ball back.
Get the ball back.
Well,
and
don't let them score.
They don't want them to score, obviously, and then they want to try to preserve their timeouts for the offensive side of the ball.
Again, you've talked about this rivalry. It's increased over the years.
And if you notice the scores the last few years, it's always by a touchdown. It's been very close. It's never been any blowouts. And I, give the kids credit on both sides for a great high school football game this evening.
The fake. Good job by the quarterback. Just get that one away, but it stops the clock.
Tigers brought a lot of pressure. They brought linebackers up in through here. You'll see that, and the offensive line isn't moving their feet, so a lot of pressure right in his face. Smart play, throwing it away.
Well, there has to be a lot of tired kids out there. A lot of these players are going both ways.
They really are, Bob. And again, it's tough. People don't understand how taxing on the body it is when you're going two ways and possibly three ways with special teams.
Here's third down. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Kochko makes a guy miss, and he's going to be close to a first down. I believe he's got it. They're marking it up to 30.
Here they go. Roll out. Lucacio just slips out there, and he beats the defender and does a nice job getting the yards after the catch. More importantly, that key first down to keep the ball out of Tunkhannock's hands.
They go back into the eye. Franny George evades one would-be tackler, but can't get by another.
Right now, number 70 for Pittston, Hugh Bentham, is down, and he plays left guard for the Patriots. So he's going to have to come out for one play.
So an injured player stops the clock, 2:55 remaining. Coach mentioned each team has 2 timeouts. Pittston area came in a man down already. Steven Yanchis, the big tackle, 286-pound junior, got hurt in practice this week. Can't keep affording to get linemen hurt.
No, because especially when you have boys that size. You can't coach that size, and that's tough. But again, every coach knows this. You have to have the next man up mentality and keep them going.
So our trip next week, Stan will be back in the booth with me as we head down to the Pennsylvania Heartland Conference as Hughesville takes on the Blue Jays. Jan and I will then take to the Battle of the Bridge out in Loyalsock. Looking forward to that. And then a couple big games, Berwick, Valley View, and then the 2 of the best teams really in the state in Class A, Lackawanna Trail and Old Forge.
And that, talk about rivalries. Both those coaches have both those teams going. Lackawanna Trail had a big win tonight. Old Forge, I didn't see a score on them.
I didn't see a score yet, but they're #1 in the state ranked.
Are they really?
Yep.
I did not see that.
Yep, the Blue Devils, the #1 Class A team in the state. Well, that's a big loss for Pittston area. They lose their left guard.
So where do you think?
Ankle.
Where do you think Tunkhannock's going to bring some pressure right now, Bob?
Over that new person who's in there, whoever that player is. Well, if you're Tunkhannock, you're bringing pressure anyway right now, right?
Right, and you have, again, a fresh kid coming in, and you got a seasoned defensive line. They're playing that 4-4 up front, so the guard's going to be covered up anyway.
Pittston area will let this one go all the way down. The play clock, that is, that started at 25. And they're going to go to the air. And it's dropped. Krawczyk had it. He dropped it. It stops the clock. They've had that all night long, a great play call. just what are you going to do?
He's
didn't catch it.
They're in high school.
Yeah.
They do make mistakes.
Yep. So 3rd down now, upcoming.
And then Gavin Montross just came in for the Patriots.
Well, it wouldn't be a Pittston area Tunkhannock game if we didn't have a little drama. We definitely do here late in the 4th. The play fake. Plenty of time for Nacito. To the end zone. Just over the head. He's looking for his tight end, Anastasi. And it goes incomplete. I would, maybe Pittston takes a timeout. Fourth down play. Tunkhannock needs the ball back. Big hit put on the receiver by Jack Chilson, the quarterback.
That's the first time he's been back at secondary. Against Dallas, he was playing free safety.
I didn't see who the intended receiver was, but whoever it was took a big hit, and he'll go back. Here we go.
Nacito rolling to his left. It's number 4.
Higgins. Well, Higgins is used to doing that on the other
side of the ball. Yep.
This time he gets there, but Higgins will go back, play the secondary. 2:19 left, 2 timeouts for Tunkhannock. They need a touchdown. This is where
That's
we'll
what
have
you
to see
said
about
earlier,
the coaching
Bob.
gap. You needed to go for 2.
You said that earlier, and again, having Jackson Montross.
Might be just inexperience from the coaching staff. Back to Chilson. Oh, he's got a wide open tight end, Zacharias. Rumbling and bumbling. Down to the 48. 21-yard gain.
I said earlier about like Gavin D'Amato only being 150 pounds, and then you've got the big guy in here coming in at 260 pound, hitting on a 150-pound defensive back. That was a great play. Good job by Jamal Zacharias. Here we go. On the replay there, he's just coming across on the drag play. Just stiff arms number 40, get out of my way, and he does the same thing to number 22.
Two big catches from the junior. This is where Chilson's film work really comes in handy. Nice catch.
It's a great catch. Jamal,
yep.
For as big as he is, and again, another wrestler.
Into the slot. Off to the races. Inside the 5
Nate
goes
Lord.
Nate Lord. 35-yard pass and catch, and Tunkhannock could take the lead with a touchdown. What's going on? They trailed 32-7.
And they've unanswered points. They're, again, we talked about it on the video blog, how the kids really, there was a buzz in the school, and they just haven't given up. Nate Lord does a great job there. And then number 4, Higgins trying to do the strip. But again, you always have to tackle first. Make sure you secure.
Timeout on the field.
Who they?
Tunkhannock inside the Allied Services red zone. 3 unanswered touchdowns by the Tigers. Under 9 minutes to play in this game. Has Pittston area defense on their heels.
This entire fourth quarter has been Tunkhannock, and they've had the Patriots defense on their heels this entire quarter.
Well, that we know they need a touchdown.
And there's that Tunkhannock band, Bob, we talked about earlier.
Well, if you left this game early,
you missed a
great
great game.
Maybe you're watching us at home now.
That's what we're hoping.
Okay, here we go. Power eye from the 4 inside the Allied Services red zone. 3 passes, has them knocking on the door. D'Amato hit behind the line of scrimmage.
There's a flag on the play coming from the far sideline.
John Simons with the first hit. Suddenly it gets quiet in the stadium, waiting for the call.
Wow. You could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're talking to Pittston.
Illegal procedure on the black. That's declined.
Second down from the 4. Chilson to the end zone. Tipped away. It's easy to make the call up here as we see this one again.
Jack sets up, just tried to force that in there, and again, Higgins with the tip. Good coverage by the secondary, though.
Again, they need a touchdown. They had a couple opportunities to go for 2. Don't know if you would have made it. Don't know if you would have made it.
Well, woulda, coulda, and shouldas, we'll never know, but.
Third down. A lot of people covered. Chilson chasing to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown,
Jake Frisco.
Jake Frisco pulls it in. And suddenly, what never should have been is happening. Tunkhannock takes the lead.
And the student section right there was a sign right in the front, Bob, that said believe. Chilson just sets back, rolls to his right, trying to make buy time for the receivers. Jake Frisco just held his ground and just out-jumped him.
Montross in for the extra point. This is a key one. This is up and it is good. 28 unanswered points in less than 8 minutes, and suddenly the Tigers, coach, have a 3-point lead. Wow, we thought last week's game was good.
Exciting. This is yeah, well, that's why Friday Night Rivals, Bob. That's why we're here.
We talked about it off camera. We knew it was going to be competitive.
Yes,
These
we did.
two teams are very evenly matched, but the way Pittston area was playing, it's really a shocking development.
It really is.
Here we see the touchdown again.
At a different angle, Jack's rolling, and he just sets up. And again, watch, Jake is just like, he really didn't do anything different. He just was following, mirroring his quarterback, and he just out-jumped him for their touchdown.
Well, let's not count our chickens before they're hatched. A lot of time
we can't.
left.
We
and
can't.
the way Docito and Krawczyk are playing, you need a field goal.
Well, we know
you figure you got to get it down to at least a 10 for an attempt, right?
I would venture to say coach isn't going to do that, Coach Barberi, because I don't know how much faith he has in his extra point kicker.
Well, we'll see. Well, first Montross has to take us to the Keystone College kickoff. We've had a little bit of everything again tonight, just like last week.
Don't think they're going to go with an onside here. They'll probably squib it, but having Jackson Montross back there, I'd kick it in the end zone, make Patriots go 80 yards.
Big leg, big kick. Okay, back out to the 20. Again, this Docito, he's been in almost all the touchdowns tonight. Through the air and on the ground.
Yep.
He's played an outstanding game, as Mike Docito.
He has.
Now it's Pittston area's turn.
And they have 2 timeouts. And the Tiger defense has really stepped up this fourth quarter and has stymied actually Pittston in the second half.
Do you double team Krawczyk?
Not with their defense. He's going to try to maybe get some pressure.
Okay, Docito's time. He's just going to throw it up for grabs. And down for Higgins, no one was there. Goes incomplete. That slant has been working. What have you seen from Pittston area that you like, that you saw tonight, that maybe they could go back to right now?
Well, again, the slant, again, as I said earlier, if they just go for first downs, they have 2 timeouts, there's a minute left. We saw that they have 30 to 40 yards of reception with cross-check back there. So,
plus the clock stops on all first downs.
Yes.
1 minute exactly left in this, what has turned into a dramatic game here in Tunkhannock. The Tigers were trailing 32-7 as we entered the 4th. Intercepted!
Ty Conan.
That may have just completed Tunkhannock's win.
And there's a flag on the play, but it was after the interception.
Ty Conan, his first interception as a sophomore, but what is the flag? What is the flag? The defensive holding, it is. Wow. There have been a lot of big calls tonight.
On the return, I have a block in the back.
Okay.
Yep.
What number? 81. 10 yards. From the spot of the foul, it's going to be first down.
Tunkhannock gets the ball after the return.
There's pressure right there. Alex Daly put the pressure on, and again, he was trying to force that inside 2 defenders, and Ty Conan came up with the interception.
Well, 2 knees and 2 stops, and then you can probably run out the clock. Wow. Unbelievable.
It's been a great high school football game tonight, Bob.
Oh, I said that in the beginning, and it has turned into an outstanding high school football game. One of the better ones I've ever seen. I've never seen a team trailing 32-7.
And come back and then just stop the opponent offensively.
Illegal substitution call now. 49 seconds left, 3-point lead for the Tigers. Looking for win number 2 in what could be a history-making game. Instant classic, as some people might say.
I think they would say that. Comeback kids.
Pittston area calls timeout, as you might expect. Tigers off to Honesdale next week. I told you in the beginning of the game, sit back, relax, and enjoy a great high school football game.
Bob-eyed, you do know your football, and you pick great games to do for Friday night rivals.
We've had 2 of the better ones the last 2 weeks. I didn't expect anything to top last week's game. There was an amazing game. Last second, they score, but I'm telling you, this is right up there.
Great game.
This is right up there. Coach Maribel trying to go to 2-1 on the year. Off to Honesdale next week. So we're going to try to set the clock after the Pittston area timeout. That offense got rolling in the 4th quarter for Tunkhannock, and Pittston area just couldn't stop it.
And their offense went stagnant, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, they had that one big play to Krawczyk, but then it stalled out.
Stalled. And we saw that earlier in the first half.
Coach Barberi is going to let this one roll out. Call another timeout.
Well, there's a difference of 1 second between the 40-second clock and the scoreboard.
So on a whiteout night, honoring Coach Shaw.
Yep.
He's looking down on this Tiger team.
And you know he's smiling up in heaven.
No doubt. Smiles all over the place in Tunkhannock tonight. We're having a party, people. Tunkhannock style. The Tigers come back for a dramatic 35-32 win. Paul, let's talk to the coach.
Coach, you were down 32-7. What keyed the comeback?
Hey, they never quit. They never quit. They were determined to come back. We played a very shaky 3 quarters. Just glad to see we fought through it and came out with a victory.
How do you feel about your guys?
Super proud. Not really happy about the first 3 quarters, but they overcame all their problems and came through and pulled it out at the end, which we haven't done in a lot of years. Very proud of them.
Thanks, Coach. Good win. Bob, 2 weeks in a row, we've had thrillers.
We definitely have. Paul will pick up our Allied Services players of the game coming up. I think it's going to be Jack Chilston, and it might be Frisco. What do you think, Jake Frisco? That's a pretty easy one. The 2 guys that got Tunkhannock over that hurdle. But what a Friday Night Rivals game here tonight in Wyoming County. There you see the final score. And the thing, going into the 4th quarter, it was 32-7 in favor of the Patriots.
And again, got to give it to the kids from Tunkhannock, the players from Tunkhannock. They just kept going, and they do. I told you earlier in the week, they believe in what's going on. They like what's happening, and they're not going to be denied.
And Paul now with our very happy players of the game.
All right, Bob, the 2 players of the game, Jack Chilson, Jake Frisco. Well, first of all, let's talk about the passing. You guys really put it up a lot tonight. You're going to have to ice down that shoulder. But how did the passing game change? Because I'll tell you, it wasn't great in the first quarter.
No, right. I mean, we just stuck with what we put in the offseason. We believed, we've embraced this offense since the beginning. And, I mean, this guy to my right here and all the other receivers, they did their job. I did my job. The line gave me a ton of time. Total credit to them. And, you know, it just came together in the second half.
What's it feel like to be a part of a win like this?
Oh, it's amazing. We're going to remember this for the rest of our life. You know, it's just a great experience. And, I mean, the comeback, that's what you live for. Playing high school football, that's what you live for.
All right, thanks now. And Jake Frisco catching a lot of those passes, too. What was the difference? I mean, there was a lot of drops going on early. What changed?
It's confidence. Once we got the momentum, you know, the balls come easy then, you know. Once you get confidence, it's all after that.
What were you thinking when you were down 32-7?
I did not think this would happen, but I knew the kids over there, they were never going to give up, and I'm not giving up on them.
All right, congratulations, guys. You're the players of the game, and this is the Allied Services Friday Night Rivals Trophy. Go celebrate with your team and show it off. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for a great game. Hey, they keyed the comeback through passing, Bob.
Thank you, Paul. They're going to celebrate tonight in Tunkhannock. A big comeback victory for the home team. And it was all set up, and it all got negated when on the big interception.
Tyrese Conan with that interception sealed it. Right now, there's Coach Don Davis, who is a long-time.
Here is that interception. It's the Toyota play of the game.
And right there, Ty Conan just picks it off, and he gets out of bounds. Well, he's running to the sideline. He wanted to score. And, again, that's just great heads-up football. And they're showing right now, there's Coach Don Davis in the orange shirt. He was an assistant coach for Charlie Shaw back in the day, and he's here to present the team with the Charlie Shaw plaque.
A plaque and a trophy handed out tonight by Tunkhannock. Very disappointing for Pittston area. They played 3 quarters of their best football of the year, and they just couldn't match Tunkhannock's effort late in that game.
And we say you got to play to the whistle blows, and there are 4 quarters in football. So credit to, again, look at the kids. They're happy. They're smiling, and they worked hard for it. And there's Ty Conan that sealed it for them with the interception, number 21.
Well, let's try for 3 great games next week, Coach. Stan and I will be back in the booth. It will be Hughesville and Central Columbia in a Pennsylvania Heartland Conference showdown. But what an outstanding effort tonight by both teams, but it's Tunkhannock who comes out on top in a dramatic 35-32 victory here at home. For the entire Fox 56 sports crew, for Paul Grippy, Jan Cechak, this is Bob Ide saying so long, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's game.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.